Free socks.
Squirrel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped around again.
Huh?
We're swapped around again. Hold on.
Yeah, but I know you do it on purpose.
Hey, y'all.
You like that slick ass move we just pulled?
Look at that. Look at that. Spencer's he shrunk on us. Look at that.
Hey, y'all. Look here.
Oh,
We
everybody's
replaced it.
doing good. Yep. Golly, y'all. What an eventful week or so we've had. It's been wild. Wild. Absolutely. Can you imagine, Misty, would you ever thought it would have turned out that good?
I hoped. So I think
Hey, look,
it
there was a lot of fingers crossed, but y'all look, anybody that didn't make it, oh my gosh, they missed out. I mean, look, but thank goodness, looks like we're going to have a round two maybe next year. So what do y'all think? Y'all think it's worth having a round two?
I'm ready now.
Look, I've been like depressed all week because I've missed everybody so bad. It's been
Abby,
wild.
what'd you think?
I had a wonderful time. It was the vacation.
Yeah, she's I don't know how she hadn't had jaw cramps. She's been smiling and laughing and grinning so much. Yeah, she had a wonderful time. Abby, how about all these people?
I'm glad Wanda came.
Yeah, Wanda had a big time too. But Abby, what about all them people that you got to meet? How about that?
I don't know how many people I met, but like 50 people.
Yeah, at least. That I don't know. We still don't have a real great tally on how many people actually showed up because we had a lot of people that signed in, but there was a lot of people I'm sure that didn't. And my only regret out of the whole weekend was there was so many people. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was proud there was that many, but we didn't get to spend a lot of time with each individual person because it was just chaotic nearly, which may be crippled up with this dang ankle. Hopefully that's fixing to change and I'm getting a lot better and go back to the doctor next week. Get where I'm mobile and can walk again. I was kind of planted over at the edge feeding everybody, but my gosh, we just had so many wonderful, wonderful people come from God. And how many came from so far, y'all? I mean, David and Dee Dee, I mean, they came from, 2,600 miles.
Yeah.
And then we had people drove from, I just wonder, I've tried to figure out how many different states we had people. I bet we had people from 20 something, 25 different states.
A lot, yes.
I mean, that floored me.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all.
That Chris guy came from I think Utah or something. I think he was going to visit family that was in Georgia and went from there to the meet and greet. But he said he drove and it took him like 3 days.
Wow. I mean, y'all, it blows me away. I mean, people wanted to come hang out with a bunch of heathens like us in the middle of the dang woods, and it's.
They wasn't there to see us. I mean, yeah, they were.
Yeah,
mostly like Jumbo, freaking. Yeah. What? Don't.
I mean, look at Pyro. Look how far Pyro drove, and Gary Spikes. I mean, look at Billy Schilling. Everybody. I mean, y'all. I mean, look, I struggle sometimes wanting to drive 30 minutes to go see somebody. We had people drove, 12, 14, 15. Mary Fabian and them, I think it was like 16 hours for them. Crazy. But y'all
and stay in the cold. I mean, we froze to death at night, y'all. It got down in the 30s.
Yeah. Thank goodness. I mean,
awesome.
we had a fire, and I mean, they had a load of firewood delivered, and that was pretty pathetic. And then Mr. Ronnie Tucker come in there like Superman, come in with a massive trailer load of firewood, saved the dang weekend.
I'm telling you what, and now that was a daggum pile, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Said we'd stole the barn.
Yeah, no doubt. We look like we wasn't but about 5 Amish people away from barn raising. We had some folks, but y'all, but Misty and all just overwhelmed with all the people that's messaged and called and emailed and talking about, look, if y'all do this again, I'm there. And we had a wonderful time, and just so many people that came out, and just, and what really warmed my heart was the people that was like, well, I started not to come, but I decided to come, and oh my God, I'm so glad I did. And I mean, it's wild.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there was some really, really nice people that came. Everybody got along. Everybody was laughing, having a good time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was a really good turnout.
And not stealing Spencer's thunder, but I mean, like he said, I mean, y'all in the Bigfoot research world and people that's had encounters and stuff, we had, if you compiled the knowledgeable people and the encounters and the research, my God, we had a pile of knowledge at that campground. Crazy. As Spencer says, heavy hitters, I guess maybe that would be a appropriate term. But show me a Bigfoot conference, one of these big advertised conferences that they're selling tickets that people are paying to go to, that you could have been that up close and personal with all these folks and just hung out and talked to them, just got to know them. I mean, you go to these conferences, you're not going to do that. They're going to get up there and tell their little spiel and scuttle away, and you're not going to get to pick their brain or share encounters or whatever. You're just not going to get to.
How many people too can say they had a freaking plane land?
No doubt.
Come into their meet and greet.
No doubt. Everybody's there and
ever.
Yeah, and land on the water. I mean, it's a water or land plane come flying in and land. And Jay, and the thing for me with Jay Phelps was, I knew he lived in North Alabama, but I didn't realize that till I met him. First time I ever met him was at Coonbo's several years ago. He was up there at Coonbo's farm, and I met him. And I knew he lived in North Alabama, but I never dove into it. When I asked him where I said, dude, where you keep your plane? And he told me, I'm like, wait a minute. That's like 18 miles from my house. He's like, well, yeah, I just live blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you live within 20 miles of me. And I just didn't know it. So, but Misty, how awesome, change the subject, but how awesome was it that we finally got our spouses to show up and come out of their shell and like show up? I mean, Abby, here's the deal with Abby now. If we have anything else, she's going to be there. Because if not, I mean, I'd have to fight her. Yeah.
I think it's awesome, especially that he came and everybody's saying that I don't really beat him.
Hey, that's what I told him when they posted the picture of JR. And I was like, look, there's the man, the myth, the legend. And we know we got proof. We got clear photos of JR. We may not have a Bigfoot, but JR exists.
Yeah.
So
he's real.
Yeah, Abby.
Yeah, that was. He had a really good time, and it seemed like Wanda did too. So maybe they'll keep coming with us.
They had a good time. Oh yeah, that's I'm gonna try to go. I said something there or two back about Mark Green's gonna have a thing at Holland's the end of the month, and I said something about going, and I thought Abby had broke her neck. She whipped her head around so fast. Go, what? I said, yeah. I said, are you going? What'd you say? Are you going with me when I go?
I said it was a great idea.
Yeah. So look at there. We got Mr. Porch in there. I'm
wanting to try to come. I don't know if I'll make it this trip, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to try.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got to get you down here. I done told you, you come here and go down with us from here, and you don't have to drive that far. We can be at Mark Green's in maybe 2 hours, just casual driving, and we don't have to camp. But we go down there and meet a lot of folks, and a lot of these. That's what I'm interested in, is meeting a lot of these people from on further south that I hadn't. I mean, we've messaged them for a long time, but we hadn't got to talk to them in person. So that's what I want to do. But hey, y'all, Misty, well, look, we got a big show waiting up. We got a lot of people in the background that's fixing to come on with us. And we're going to have our all-star lineup today. So let's see if we can get Abby backstage, and we get the man of the hour on here with us and let him take her over.
Yeah, we got to swap.
Nah, you can stay there. Abby, come back in about 20 minutes or so. Let us get some other people on there. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you, Abby.
Yeah. Oh, my internet. I know I'm cutting out.
Look at there.
You ain't cutting out.
Howdy.
Spencer didn't even do an introduction. Look here. It's just like
just throw you out there, man.
Was talking about her damn internet. Wait, where'd Patrick go?
She blinked out on us. Y'all making me dizzy.
Stop hitting buttons backstage.
Children.
Patrick did it.
No,
where did she go? Misty bounced off because her internet keeps getting her.
We get her back. She'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, she'll be back in a little bit. So, first of all, hello to everybody in chat. And especially not especially, but all the mods and everything. Thank you. This will be a busy one, so keep doing what you're doing. We wanted to have Abby on to say hello to everybody. So,
anyway,
Abby,
I know you're proud of her.
Man, you no clue.
I know you are, man.
Oh, she's a wonderful child. And y'all, she's just turned 12 last Thursday, and she's never acted like a little kid. She acts like she's grown. So.
Well,
I had chili in one hand and s'mores in the other, bud.
That's why she had that s'more production line going.
Look, I know it.
No doubt.
Hello, everybody in chat. Oh, it was a wonderful time, man. It was awesome. I have a better time there than any family reunion I ever been to.
Yeah.
Well, that was a family reunion.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's not a stranger there.
No. Well, we're a little
Everybody
strange. We're strange, but we just ain't strangers.
I thought the whole bunch was strange.
Yeah. Really, that's how you I fit in.
Yeah.
Like this just said, stay weird, please.
Yeah.
Her internet is still messed up. Well, anyway, so for everybody that's watching this now, for those of you that were there, thank you very much. It was awesome getting to meet you. We got some people lined up for today that were there that are going to talk about it. We got more than this. And for everybody that couldn't make it, officially by the count, I think there was 102 or 103 people last I looked at it. It's supposed to be a little bit over 120. We had some people cancel at the last minute. Sometimes that stuff happens. But it was big. It was impressive. I thought it all worked really well. I know this, next time we have 100 people show up to a meet and greet, we have to have some kind of itinerary for whenever we're going to do things at certain times so that everybody can be there. Because we had people, y'all, we would be doing, like at one point, we had Troy Allen, Greg House, and Kumbo sitting at a table with the microphone, and Larry Port, your microphone sucks. But sitting at a table with the microphone, doing a show that would never be on YouTube. And we only had like 40 or maybe 50 people sitting around because everybody else was going around the LBL exploring. And I will say before we get into the show, there she is, that there were supposedly people that recorded audio A bunch of people were talking about it. I've not heard it firsthand. There were a couple people that I think might have had sightings, actually. There was a trackway found. But more than that, it was 100 and some people that all got along just like family. Greg cooked amazing food. It did get a little cold and windy at night, but it was a good time overall. And I'm going to let everybody else talk about it, except for we're going to limit Pat because Pat won like most of the raffle prizes. So Pat only gets to talk for just a very little bit. I think he paid Abby off because Abby was the one drawing the tickets. So I think he slipped her $100 bill or something. But anyway, Pat, what'd you think about it, brother?
Oh, it was wonderful. I had a great time. That was the third time I've got together with y'all. First with Beast and then with Woodwalkers. Man, just fell right in like family. I mean, I love coming and going and meeting people and learning new things, eating good food. You can't beat it, man. I'd come tomorrow if you had one tomorrow.
I tell you what, ever since we got back, I kind of missed it. I feel, I'm a little bit sad all this week because I'm not surrounded by all my friends.
I drove 1,010 miles.
Wow.
1,010 miles.
Yeah. Never thought
You've been to LBL before, though, so yeah, you knew what to expect.
Yeah. But I'd do it again. I'm coming to Alabama.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that brings up a good point. I mean, Mark Green, who was there with us, he's got an outing in Alabama. What is it, y'all, in a couple weeks?
It's the last weekend of April. It's the 25th, 6th, 7th, or so, whatever the last Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or something.
It's at the Hollins Hunter Camp.
Yeah.
It's about 15 miles outside of Sylacauga, Alabama. But anyway, y'all hit up Mark Green and go make that one. I mean, Mark is an excellent host, and there's going to be a buttload of people there.
Incredible bunch of people to meet. I'm telling you, they're really good people.
Yep.
Mark and Becca.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Randy, was this your first time at LBL? You're muted, Randy.
No, thank you. We've camped at LBL. We've gone up there a number of occasions because it's less than 2 hours drive from my home.
Oh,
and normally my wife comes with me, but all the dog man stories got her so shook up she wouldn't come with me this time. But she's listening in, so maybe this will help talk her into coming back the next time or coming up the next time.
It was a good time, and I'm fairly certain that none of us got ate by dog man. So next time you should come.
I found a bite mark, but I think that was maybe Pat. I think Pat, he was right outside the tent. Maybe got hungry or something. No, so that was not my first time at LBL, but it was the first time meeting all of you. The only two people there that I'd ever met in person before was Martin Gross and Barton Nunley. Everybody else I'd seen pictures and exchange messages and stuff like that. So it was a little bit intimidating coming because I'm not that outgoing of a person anyway. But as soon as I rolled up and rolled in, people were just greeting me and making me feel welcome. A couple of guys, Mr. Espinosa and Pat, who else was camping there with you? With Barry Browning, was that one? Possibly.
Barry was over there, but he wasn't camping there.
Anyway, they invited me to take a spot to set my tent up. After I got it set up, they said, you might want to be careful. This cedar tree's been moving with the wind a little bit, so we don't want you to get crushed to death. Luckily, that went okay. But no, it was when I came home, I couldn't quit talking about it to Kim, my wife, and about all the people that I've met. And someone mentioned heavy hitters before. That's the exact term that I used of the people that I met there. I couldn't believe it. I've been to conferences, I've been to expeditions, things of that nature. And usually there's maybe, 2 or 3 people that really have quite a reputation. But there it was like going to carnival. There's just people everywhere. And, I got to meet Cam Butler for the first time, and spent probably a good hour talking with him and with Coonbo, which is, I think he probably should change his name to Godfather Squatch or something, because he's the real deal. Bud and Angie, got to meet them the first time. Didn't know that Bud was actually at the Snell Grove expedition with Doug Hycheck and all those guys. That's super impressive. And Flat Rock, I just listened to a podcast a few days before with Flat Rock on it and all the activity that he's got going down there in Alabama. So that was just a big thrill for me. I'm really looking forward to being able to go back the next time y'all put this on, or something else.
Oh, sure. Hey, before we go any further, let me tell everybody there should be a link for this show right now in the description, and there's definitely one posted up on the comments. I posted it up. So if anybody that was at the meet and greet, Parker, you're in here. Mary Fabian, you're in here. Anybody, of course, obviously, Larry and Mark with Sawdust, Miss Debbie Jones, Debbie Porch now. But anybody that was at the meet and greet, y'all, if you want to jump on, the link, I think, is in the description of the video. I was posting it, but it was doing something weird. I think it's there. But it's definitely in the comments. So if y'all want to click on that and come on and talk for a few minutes, that's up to you. Would love to have you on. Billy.
Yes, sir.
Now you live over here by me.
Yeah, I'm about
First
40
of all,
minutes.
how'd you like that ride all the way there? That's a long trip, ain't it, man?
Man, by yourself, it was really long, but I guess we done about 1,100. Wouldn't you figure, Spencer, about 1,100 miles?
It was close to that for me. A little bit less. It's probably 30, 40 miles less for me than it was for you. But you cut over a different way than I did. I went through Roanoke and Anthony. But
yeah, I had to go over the Blue Ridge Parkway, over the Blue Ridge Mountains, and through Whittle.
But that's still a long ride. But what did you think about it once you got there? I mean, was it worth it?
Absolutely, man. Shoot, I never met so many good people in one place. That's just a fact. Randy was talking about all the people that were heavy hitters. Everybody that I've told about it, everybody I've talked to about it, I told them, I said, this is a South Appalachia Bigfoot.
Arkansas was there anyway.
Yes, it was all kind of people there, man. I guess I met everybody. I don't think I missed very many people, but you told me when we first started talking about it, you said, I don't know how much booger hunting we're going to do. And I told you, I said, I'm not going down there looking for no booger. I'm going down there to meet these people. And, and it was just a great gathering. If you missed this one, Lord have mercy, you missed a good one.
It was pretty good one.
Hey, Billy, thing about Billy, I know Billy had about met everybody because Manny was helping them unpack and set up and pack to leave.
Billy was like the unofficial camp host. There was a couple people, but if you go back and look at the pictures, y'all, which we don't have the pictures set up yet, we're still getting them sent in to us. Squirrel is working on making like a montage. But Billy's in most of the pictures because he just went from one person to the next, introducing himself and helping everybody set up and everything.
Yeah.
I was getting fed, man. Everywhere I went, people were throwing food at me.
There you go.
Greg, what did you cook all 3 nights? Because you cooked every night.
Well, Thursday night it was about a little over 3 gallons of jambalaya because we didn't have that many people that night. And that's why I brought that up, I call it a small pot. It ain't tiny. But I made a jambalaya with chicken and some Cajun sausage, jambalaya. Well, then the Friday night, I knew we had a lot more people.
So was there.
I brought my big 10-gallon cast iron pot, big kettle. I brought it, and I made about 9.5 gallons of chicken stew, which is,
I had 2 helpings of that.
It's kind of like It's
You can tell that pot's seasoned.
oh yeah, that pot's cooked a lot,
Yeah.
lots of groceries. And then Saturday night I made it was about 9.5 gallons of homemade chili. Wound up, I think there was 15 pounds of ground beef in it, and the rest of it was just chili beans and spices and dark red kidney beans, light red kidney beans, onion salsa. But 9.5 gallons of chili basically evaporated.
Everybody, I saw people getting in line 3 times for Greg's chili.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings if I got in there 4.
Hey, I was sitting by Bud and Angie that night and eating chili, and I'll have to tell this on Bud. Bud puts sugar on his chili. I'm not talking about
What?
a little bit.
Yeah, a ton of it.
Wow.
Yeah, he said, I just love it.
Well, I've never tried that. I mean, it may be good. I don't know.
I didn't try it.
Man,
I was getting diabetic watching him pour that sugar.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, Spencer.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to mention and shout out to Mary Fabian. I think she's in the chat somewhere, but I guess it was a Saturday. I loaded up the truck with her and 2 of her sisters, or maybe 3. I don't know what the count was. And Christine, we all went up to the massacre site. It's the first time I'd ever been up there. It was very interesting. We found a couple of potential tracks. I wouldn't say for sure that it was because the leaves were so thick, but it did appear to be some kind of footprints. But the one thing that we did find all over that place around that kill site was these scratches in the leaves. I called them a serpentine symbol, like a snake symbol. It was all over the ground, like somebody or something had taken maybe a stick and just made that symbol. I'm not talking about 2 or 3. It was everywhere we turned was those things. Now, I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's some kind of animal or something, but if anybody's got any idea of what does that, I'd sure be curious.
I do not know. I've never heard of that before. Mr. Green.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Good.
Good.
All right. Well, I'm outside, so you may hear chickens crowing and guineas going ballistic. I just want to say hello to everybody and tell everybody how much I really enjoyed meeting everybody. It was real good, real enjoyable. Had a good time.
Same
Hey,
here.
Mark, we were just saying about everybody might want to come down your way and jump in your meet and greet here that you're having in a few weeks. You want to tell everybody the exact dates and where it's at and everything?
Yeah, sure. It's going to be April 26th through the 28th. But if you want to come on the 25th too, that's fine. I'll probably be there on the 25th too, which will be Thursday. It's going to be at the Hollins Hunter Camp in Hollins Wildlife Management Area. That's in the southern Talladega National Forest near Sylacauga. It's about 12 miles from Sylacauga. It is primitive now. There's no bathrooms, no nothing. It's just a big hunter's camp. It's a very active place. A lot's went on over there. But hope everybody can make it. It can come. And we just get down there and have a good time. And that place usually, sometimes you'll hear vocals at night from that campground. Don't no matter how many people you got sitting there. A lot of times they'll go to hooping and hollering close by. So it's an active place.
Hey, PJ.
PJ.
Yeah. Hey, Pam and Paul, it was great meeting y'all in person.
Oh,
That was my first time meeting them, and that was awesome.
Miss PJ.
Oh.
She's awesome.
She painted that picture, y'all,
Yeah.
that we auctioned off. That was awesome. That was great. Thank you for
Tell
that.
you all about that picture.
Yeah, I bet you can.
Hey, is that couple the people that Kerry Arnold visited years ago and had active site?
Yes.
They were actually there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. I feel bad that I didn't get to meet them. But there's
There
so
were
many
a lot
people
of
like
women
that. There were
squatters
so
there.
many.
There was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, let me bring on the second group of people.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, y'all. Thanks a
Pleasure
lot.
talking and meeting everyone.
Big love to y'all. And look, we will talk to
Yes.
y'all again, and y'all get backstage and y'all do y'all's thing like always. But guys, we dang proud that y'all came on here with us today. Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
You know, I
Thanks.
love y'all, man. You can click me out, Spence.
Okay.
Take me out too, Spencer. I got to go get ready to go to work
All right,
here
brother.
early. I
Well-
appreciate it. Good to see everybody, and we'll see y'all hopefully
I
in a
got
couple
you a
of weeks.
new 5-gallon bucket, Mark.
Yeah, I need to get me a new one.
I got you one.
Hey, all right.
All right. Thank
We'll
y'all.
see y'all later.
All right,
Talk
brother.
to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Let's see.
Let's see who our new all-star lineup is.
We're going to bring on Mary Fabian, Anthony, and Mr. Kevin Ashby.
There we go. How are y'all?
Doing great.
Fine, you?
If I was any
Where's
better, that'd be two of me.
She's hiding, man.
Well,
JR got
y'all,
over.
since you were there, we'll start with Twan Anthony. He's been there with me to LBL several times. What'd you think? I mean, I know we hate the drive all the way out there, but what'd you think of the turnout and the overall thing?
Oh, that was awesome. I didn't expect that many people to show up. Got to meet a bunch of people that I ain't seen in a while. Kumbo, Greg, Troy Allen. I mean, Jamie, all them people. Bob, Ronnie Turner. I mean, it's so many people. Larry, Debbie. I mean, the list can go on and on and on, but I really thought it was a great turnout. I like what y'all did at the end with the prizes. I liked the what was it? I think it was like Friday night we had the microphone and you got everybody to tell.
Yeah. Well,
and
we had
counter.
some people talk. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, that was pretty interesting because you just don't know people and what it got more personable to talk to people and whatnot, so you can tell where they were coming from while they were there, their experiences. You know, I really liked that. That was pretty cool. Let's see what up, Greg. I'm about to say, man, you are a good cook.
Thank
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that was awesome. I mean, I can't say enough words for that. Wow.
I'm just glad everybody enjoyed it.
Oh man, dude.
Oh yeah, they pounded it. It was good.
Yeah. I like that smoked sausage y'all had too. It wasn't overpowering. It was just right. So that was really good. And I liked hanging out with Mark Green and them. Went out to that one area and found some stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting. We got to hang out with Sherry, and I can't remember Sherry's. What was her name?
Donna.
I think Donna. Good God, she was giving Spencer hell all night, all weekend. Good.
No.
Yeah. It's like we're right beside her, and it's like saying something every night. I was like, oh my goodness.
Hey,
Yeah.
hold on one sec. Gary Spikes, get your butt on here.
Yeah, that's
Parker,
another one.
you can come on. Pyro, you can come on. Y'all, we got to meet Pyromedic, and that was cool as well. We got to stop and talk to him for a while. Yeah.
If Pyro wants to hide his identity, he can come on. We don't even have to have his dang picture.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You can block the camera. Anybody that wants to come on, Al, you're in chat. Al, get on here, brother. You can block the camera, y'all.
I promise. Look, y'all ain't no uglier than I am. Wait.
But go ahead, Greg. Go ahead.
No, Spencer, Abby's backstage. You gonna bring her out?
Yeah, let's bring her out.
She can go.
Oh, look at her.
Oh my gosh, look at there.
Where'd you get that from, Abby?
And she gave it to me.
Miss Leanne.
Leanne and Barry Browning showed up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, that child right there. I thought I was going to have to run a U-Haul to haul all her gifts home. She had a mountain
She was the s'mores queen.
Yes. Yeah, I thought she was going industrial s'more production. Golly, Abby, what all did you get? You got walking sticks and
I got a crystal from Pat. I got like a Bigfoot carving from Joe. $20. Gary.
What?
$20 from Patrick to help rig the damn raffle.
No, that rigged the raffle on us. But yeah, Abby, would you have rather went to the meet and greet, or would you rather went to Disneyland?
Meet and greet.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hey, well, we gotta hold Kevin for a little while because I want to give him hell at the end when I have time to. Mary,
Thank you.
Mary, what did you think? Of course, you've been to LBL before. Mary brought a whole entourage of people and showed them around LBL. Didn't y'all hear some stuff over there at Red's Holler?
Yeah, we found some footprints around the campsite. May have heard some vocals. Something came up to my camper the night. I could hear it snorkeling right at my window, and I'm in a tall van, one of those Pro Masters vans, and it was right there at my window.
Abby, you see that? Christy said she was going to surprise you, but you need to be looking for something in the mail. Everybody loves Abby.
Cookies.
So, I mean, Mary, overall, did you have a good time, though? Don't you think that was a lot of people? And
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. It was fantastic, meeting everyone else that I haven't met already. I've been to Land Between the Lakes twice before that. And this time it was extra special. It really was. And next year I'll be bringing some things to donate to the raffle.
please. Thank you.
Y'all, did the raffle not go off awesome? Was that not cool as crap, the raffle?
It was.
That was, and I want to thank Spencer also for. I wasn't carrying any cash.
That's okay. We need to get one of those little things where we can plug it into the phone and take your credit card.
Yeah.
Now, guys, we tried to. What we did with the raffle, just so everybody knows, is we said $1 or whatever you want to donate for a ticket. Heck, we had a lot of people, spend $5, $10 on raffle tickets. I think Mr. Noble must have spent $100 on raffle tickets because every time I called something, he won. Venmo. That's what we need. But anyway, it was a good time.
Spencer Squirrels, man, she's got her hotspot up. Abby, go backstage again and let's bring Misty back with us.
Yeah. Well, hold on, Juan, since you're interfering with the whole show with that wind coming in, do you have anything else you want to add?
Hey, man, I thought I turned my mic off, but yeah, one last. Sorry.
That's what he carried home. It's what he brought home from LBL. He brought the wind.
That's right.
Damn, that wind was kicking the first two nights.
Yeah. The only last thing I would like to say is, like people like Pyro, Abby had her book out, Al had a walking cane. There's a lot of other things. We got the sign. I was like, I ain't nobody to sign this, and they did not care. They did not care. They just wanted to have people sign it for a memory type of thing because they got together with people with like minds and had a good old time.
Yeah, it became like memorabilia at that point. Everybody was walking around saying, "Hey, can y'all sign stuff?" And we were all signing it. Everybody there. Greg, what was the grand prize? I wish Al was on here, but what was the grand prize?
We had that dang 4 foot tall aluminum Bigfoot, and that thing's solid aluminum. It's heavy. And, Al, the sign shop that he works in, they cut it out of some scrap aluminum, but it's thick aluminum, and those things are nice. I mean, unless you cut it up with a saw, you're never going to destroy the thing. It wouldn't matter. And I don't know how many dang signatures. That thing was full of signatures. And, but yeah, y'all, it was some awesome prizes. I mean, that darn table was full of stuff.
Just so everybody knows, Michael Scott from SEMO, Southeastern Missouri Bigfoot Organization or something like that. He's the one that won that thing. He told a really cool story.
Yeah.
He took he's a teacher, and I think he said high school kids, right?
I think so.
And he took them out on a field trip to look for booger evidence in a certain area where he goes researching, and they found a trackway. The kids did in his class, or they found a track anyway, at least one that they casted. And he brought the cast. It was a right impressive cast. But he has a YouTube show. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. I'm subscribed to it, but I can't remember all the names for all these things. But I'll find out. And y'all should check out his channel if you can find it. But anyway, his name's Michael Scott. Real nice guy. Anyway, he won that thing. So I hope he puts it up in the background on his show or something.
Well, I mean, maybe I hope he carries the darn thing to school. That's all the kids said.
Yeah. Well,
see, you can get Squirrel back on here with us.
All right. Twan, see you later. Thank you. Bye.
See you, Twan.
So
Are you leaving, Mary?
I got dinner on the stove.
Miss
Okay,
Mary,
well,
it was
thank
so
you
good
for
to
coming
see
in.
you.
Hey, thank you
Have a
for
great-
coming.
Appreciate you coming, and as always, just awesome to be around you. And
Yes, ma'am.
you know,
Well-
hey, y'all, look, Mary may not, she may not, she may not take ownership of us, but she's one of us. I mean, she's family.
Mary is the person up north. Like if anybody is even remotely more north, if they start getting up into the West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, I send them to Mary because she's been doing this for a long time and she knows her stuff.
And here's the thing, y'all, anybody that's watching this, if y'all are not following her Pennsylvania Bigfoot group on Facebook, you need to, because I'm telling you, bar none, hands down, that's the best Bigfoot research Facebook group that you can find. Her moderators, look, are unreal. Unreal. So,
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a great
All right.
day.
Bye, Mary.
We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Mary. Where'd Squirrel go? Oh, but look who else we have. Wait, hold on. There they are. Pyro. Hey, brother.
Look at there.
Hey, guys.
Mr. Spikes.
Hey, man. Look at that.
I'm gonna tell y'all what. Look,
now, but I'd jump on for a second.
well, please do. Oh, you're at the damn fire station or
That's what
the.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
What'd you think about the meet and greet, Pyro?
Man, that was awesome. I laughed halfway home. But there's something shenanigans going on there. I mean, every time I remember something, it's just another just great memory. I mean, just seeing the people, and you know, it was awesome. Y'all did not disappoint. And pulling up and seeing, you know, parking next to Kumbo there, that was just blew my mind. That he was like, "Come on, let's go see these folks," you know. And walking through the crowd, I knew more than he did from all the podcasts I watched. You know, I knew almost everybody. And he'd stop and turn around. I'd be talking to another one. He'd walk a few more steps. I'd be talking to someone else I knew. And he's like, "Hell, you know more than me." So introduce me to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a blast. He shared some stuff with me. He said Choctaw man, you know, started him in this back in the day, you know, when he was young, and I could think he kind of took to me because of that or something. One of his best friends growing up that, you know, he started all this with. So we really got along great. Invited me to dinner. I missed the raffle, unfortunately. No prizes, but I brought my own fingers, so I was good there. So.
Yeah.
You went out to dinner with Kumbo and a handful of other people though, so that's as good as a raffle, depending on your.
Yeah, the stuff he told and just the stories, you know, not necessarily, you know, booger and stuff, just you just nonstop story after story. It's funny.
I told Pyro, I sent him a message. I said, "Man," I said, "Look, I don't know what to tell you." I said, "You know, Kumbo's a super personable guy. He's very approachable and super nice guy." Yeah. I said, but when I saw him, basically, he like just merged with Pyro, and they were going all over camp. Yeah. So I got to know they went out to eat. And I told Pyro, I said, "Look, dude, he done you about like he did me several years ago." I said, "Dude, we just hit it off." And I said, I don't know what that's about, brother, but yeah, you may have made a new BFF right here.
Yeah, he was showing me his home place on Google Maps, where the boogers were, where we're
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
where we're gonna go, his fishing spots, everything. I'm like, okay, I'm not ready for all that, but we'll check it out maybe. But, yeah, it was an awesome weekend.
Where did Greg go? Everybody bouncing off now. Well, Pyro, thank you so much for showing up. It was awesome meeting you in person, brother. Thanks for jumping on here and saying hello to everybody.
Yep. I'll bounce back out.
All right. Talk to you later. Thanks. Okay, Ashby. They're all gone now. Oh, damn. Hold on.
They're in the bucket.
My internet had a seizure or something. Where'd Pyro go?
He just bounced out. Squirrel, get your butt on here.
She sent me a message, said she tried to use a hotspot and it still won't jump back. Man, Pyro had to leave, and I'm like internet crippled for a second. But anyway, I guess I'll just have to tell Pyro that hey, we will talk soon. And man,
I tell you what, meeting Pyro was like that was so cool because being able to ask him directly stuff, like from a Native American perspective. And that was great. Michael X, who is often in our chat, showed up. Yep. I mean, that was so cool meeting them. China got me again.
No doubt. But man.
Wait now, hold on. Everybody on our show, let me introduce you to my new best friend that I'm gonna give hell all the time. This is Mr. Kevin Ashby, who we had to twist his arm to get him to come. Not really. Yeah. But you talk about a super cool person that this is atypical. It's just people that watch these podcasts and you don't know them because you see them in chat and everything. And then they show up to something like this and you get to meet them. And I mean, hell, he might as well be. I mean, he's just like one of us. I could fill him in as one of the co-hosts. He's funny. He's way funnier than me, which means he's damn sure funnier than Misty. But anyway, Ashby.
Yes.
I'm glad that you came, man. What did you think of the whole thing?
I first pulled in there. I'd come out of Seymour, Tennessee. My son was supposed to come with me, but then he had to back out the last minute. So that was kind of like where I was at. I wasn't really going to come. I kept making excuses for everything I could do other than that because I have a pretty good piece of property here. But I pulled in there, and the first person I met was Gary Spikes. And we was talking, and I was like, hey, where do you think I should put my tent up around here? He said, well, I got 2 tents here, but you can put your tent right next to mine. Okay. So then I was still kind of walking around. I run into Larry Porch, and we talked for a little bit. And
Roger, get on.
He was like, you want me to come help you set that up? I said, no, they said that I can set this tent up in 5 minutes or less, in which it did. It just popped right up into it. But then after that, I hung around with Larry, and then I got meeting everybody else. And everybody you meet, it's just like you've known them forever. I mean, it's just one of those things. You start carrying on a conversation, and then I gained a partner in crime, Squirrel. And y'all are just funny together. And then we met Cam Buckner, and we hung out with him for a while, and it was just a good time all around. I mean, it was like going to a family reunion when you weren't fighting with your family.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of how it was. And even though I won prizes and you kept yelling at me because I was winning prizes and I wasn't supposed to be there anyway, but it was a great time.
Yes. Weren't supposed to be there in the first place and then show up and steal everybody's prize.
Yeah. So any regrets? I mean, is you think you'd enter?
And then I got to meet Greg, who was cooking for everybody. It was like he didn't have a whole lot of time to talk. Greg is a busy man. He starts cooking and everybody's around, and it's like, let's help Greg. And he's like, okay, well, we'll meet up some other time. It's all good. But yeah, I got to see a lot of people, and a lot of people that you see all the time on either shows or in the comments or whatever. And it's nice to put that face to that name.
Yeah.
So.
Well, You,
And then Spencer that kept giving me this.
Well, man,
you're on the inside now. You're one that we know. We're just going to drag you to all this shit now, Kevin.
No doubt. Well, hey, Kevin, brought up something there. I mean, we had Gary Spikes down there. He was like,
And there's no squirrel. So see, I can say anything now. I don't even have to defend myself.
Yeah,
that's what I do. I take advantage. Every time her internet goes out, that's my cue to give her help because
yeah.
I'll tell you know what I learned at the meet and greet, everybody, is that everybody gives me hell in person just as much as they do in the chat on YouTube. That was shocking. I expected everybody to comment down a little bit, but no, that did not happen.
No, I'm on my second warning.
Second, that's right. You only get 3 strikes. Come on, Ashley. Come on.
Then you get a prize.
Yeah. No, he's already gotten prizes. Don't encourage him. Mr. Spikes. Now, y'all, Gary is always a nice man, and he always helps out. But Gary was above and beyond this trip. We had a couple people. I wish Mr. Tucker was on here. Ronnie, if you're listening to this, I sent the link to your wife, man. You can still jump on. But there are some people that just show up and help out. You don't even have to ask them to. Billy Schilling was extremely helpful. Patrick was extremely helpful. But there's a lot of groups that have people like that. But I'm going to tell you what, Gary Spikes, we didn't have to ask him for anything.
No.
His whole job, he made it his mission to go around and help every single person, to make everybody feel welcomed and to introduce himself and see if they needed anything. And Gary, brother, sincerely appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Cannot thank you enough on that. Thank you for showing up. I hope you had a good time when you wasn't running around working.
He was a busy man.
Hey, it was great.
Gary ain't going to talk
I might
much.
have a lag. My internet's starting to mess up.
Uh-oh.
I tried to get a picture with him, and I couldn't get him to smile for nothing.
Hey, he was our welcome wagon. I'm talking about. He was, unreal, man. Yep.
Hey, Gary, while you were there, did you?
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, I'll let you off in 1 minute. Calm down, Gary. You just got here. We just started talking to you. Did you get a chance to meet Ashby while you were there?
He got the same internet Squirrel got, undoubtedly.
Yeah, he must have. I'm just going to take his freezing up as like fate's way of saying that he did meet you and he didn't like you either.
Roger.
Yes, sir.
Gary,
why
Gary, get off here. We'll talk to you later. Thank you, Gary.
That ain't right, Spencer.
Hey,
That just ain't right.
Roger, where's Heather at? She couldn't get her to come on.
Oh, she's in there laying down. She was tired, so yeah, man. Where do you start? Y'all said a mouthful, but I was fanboying is the word I was using. Meeting everybody, and I'm not talking just like Kumbo and Cam, and I'm talking about the people. Pyro, Billy, Kevin. It's just. It was overwhelming at times. Like there were so many people, and everybody was just so cool and generous. Oh, I need to thank David Blaylock.
Yeah,
I fell in love with that thing as soon as I saw it, and he gave it to me.
Wow!
And I've got it displayed, in my cabinet. So that and then Michael X surprised us all before he left. With the gift.
Wasn't that cool?
And then Gary, he had all the walking sticks, right?
Man, yeah.
I ended up with 3 of those, and I'll use those.
It's okay. Thank you, Gary.
But then I realized at one point, I see somebody said thanks for the pictures. We were all meeting everybody, And then it got to one point, I'm like, oh crap, nobody's taking pictures. So I tried to go around and get as many as I could. And I missed folks, and I apologize. I was having as much fun, and another thing too, I was having so much fun seeing Heather have fun. Peyton came in, and then there's something that happened. And Spencer was there. Peyton's girlfriend was with us when we had that scream happen that night, and some other things before. She won't talk about it here. Won't talk to anybody. But she felt comfortable enough at that meet and greet. She told Spencer the story. And then when the story time started, it was you and Kumbo up there, telling stories. She took her chair and scooted up close to the fire where she could hear. Wow. And that was amazing.
And don't forget to mention that Peyton, Cam Buckner walked over to Peyton and started talking and said, "Hey, can I put a microphone on you and record?" So Roger's son, Peyton, who told the ghost dog story on here before, Cam sat him down and mic'd him up, and Cam is going to have that on Dixie Cryptid at some point.
I said, "You've been here 4 minutes. You've been here 4 minutes." And Cam Buckner walks up, and we looked at Spencer across the fire over there, like we know where it come from. But I didn't listen to it on purpose because I want to hear it for the first time, on the show. Yeah. But y'all, there's so much.
I know it.
The first night we were in the tent that we were there, and we were backed up next to the woods, and we had Billy on one side, Cam on another side there, and we had our trucks and vehicles. And it was after midnight. I could hear Spencer. They were out there talking around the fire. And I think it was maybe Anthony. Somebody said, "What is that?" Well, we was hearing something walk towards our tent from the woods. And Heather, my dog, woke up, and it got right up next to the back of the tent, and we could hear it breathing. And after it went back into the woods, back behind Cam's setup, I told Heather, I said, "I got to get out here and see what they heard," because it got right on top of us. And I went out there, it was freezing. And I'm like, what did y'all hear? And they had the thermal or therm, whatever you call it, out looking. But they heard it from over there. It got right. When you can hear something breathing, it's a little too close. I don't know what it was.
It should be said, y'all, just so everybody knows, whenever you got 100 people at a meet and greet, it's hard enough just going around and meeting everybody and talking and having a good time. You're cooking food. People were pulling in, you're setting up camp and tending to the fire and all that kind of stuff. Thank you, by the way, for all the people, especially like Jamie and Bob, that really helped take care of the fire and maintain that the whole time, because it got cold at night, y'all, and it was cold in the morning. And I'm glad there were people that got up before me and had the fire going. So whenever I crawled my ass out of the tent, I wasn't freezing to death. But even though it was a Bigfoot meet and greet, it wasn't really a Bigfoot outing per se. And LBL is not, LBL is an active place. It's got boogers there. In my opinion, it's more active in the fall. I was really surprised at the amount of possible activity that people were talking about seeing. Roger posted a video on his channel describing. Roger, you wanna talk real briefly about what you saw, or maybe saw?
Well,
she doesn't see any messages. Hold on, Ronnie, I'll send it again. Go on, Roger.
I'll make it quick. There's a couple things happened. We had a cabin, and it took us 45 minutes to get there. And the only reason, in the daytime it was quicker, but if you've never driven in LBL and it's probably better if the leaves are on the trees and green. But when you got the gray trees and the gray road in the night, it was tough. No lights. So we'd run about 30, 35. And we were out it's about midnight. And I did see one thing that was black. It was huge. I got to go with Bear there because I don't have any identification, that I can tell you what it was. I didn't see a tail. We'll get into that later. But when we pulled out of Colson and took a right, we're coming around a long, drawn-out curve. You have the campground, the picnic area. Then the next road to the left there. This dog, huge dog, white, was after something. and we surprised it when my lights hit it. When it turned its head, the red eye shine was bigger than anything I'd ever seen. And I told Heather, I'm like, well, maybe it's because of this newer truck, the newer style headlights. But I got to thinking, we saw 100 deer on the way, and all their eyes were the same as they've always been. So this thing, when it illuminated, when the lights hit it, it was kind of shocking. And it did, that squirrel thing when they don't know which way to go, and it shook its head. It was kind of wanting to go right, left. When it did that, it blurred, and that was kind of. I don't know what the word is for that, but it was white. It was definitely canine. It was very large, and it turned to go back the other way. Well, I whipped in that road, and I'm looking to see if it's going to cross at this angle that I saw it running. And Heather went, "Oh, either oh heavens or oh." She don't cuss like I do, so I'm like, "What? Where is it?" And she said, "I just saw a vapor go across the road. I didn't see it, but I put it in reverse and hit the skinny pedal," as Greg would say, because that was eerie. And there's wolves there. There are wolves there, but it just moved a little different.
No, they have red wolves there, and they're fairly small. They're about the size of a medium coyote.
Right. I've seen
the red wolf we saw a year ago up there. That thing was big. It was bigger than a big German Shepherd. That thing was big.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me and Alan, and then Troy Allen was in my truck, and that thing come across the highway in front of me within 40, 50 feet. That thing was, you think of a big coyote. It was, not a big coyote, but a big German Shepherd. It was bigger than that.
Yeah.
Damn.
It kind of shook me up, the size of it.
Maybe they're eating really good up there.
I don't know. It was big.
I'm going to tell you, this bear that I saw, it was, 10, just a few feet from Heather's door when I got stopped. And I started backing up. I didn't see a tail. And I've walked up on bears in Gatlinburg that, I don't know, 250, 300 pounds. This thing was double the size of that because the rear end, it was just huge. And it kind of shook me up a little bit because of the size. Like I said, I didn't see the legs because of the slope of the ditch. And it looked like it was scratching in the ground, and it never popped its head up. So I've thought about that since it happened, and I have to go with bear on that, since there are bear there, and I didn't see any ID markers on that I could tell you exactly what it was. But that happened all within 10 minutes. I'm like, Heather woke up at the cabin. She said, "Why are the lights on outside?" I said, "Because I want them on."
Shut up, Wendell.
Hey, Wendell showed up taking pictures, didn't he?
Wendell took some of the better pictures of the whole thing. Wendell's got a whole slew of pictures.
Yeah, kudos, Wendell. You've done some pretty good photography.
Thank you for that.
He was like having a live reporter. Bob Dahl said, I've seen you on Wendell's Facebook more than I've seen you on your Facebook. What's going on?
Well, I think Wendell had a pretty good time. I know he got to meet a lot of folks.
Yep. Wendell, you can jump on. There's a link in the description or up top in the comments. You can jump on here and tell everybody about the time you had. But yeah, Wendell would go around and go up to people and be like, "Hey," he just have a camera going and tell people to turn around. They turn around and he'd be filming, and he's like, "Introduce yourself."
Action News 5.
Yes,
that's a good reporter. You don't ask.
Yeah,
just do it.
I think he must have watched a lot of that Kolchak Night Stalker back in the 70s.
Yes,
but y'all, when we got there, y'all had been there a little bit, and I thought I was sneaking in early. And when I pulled around that at the sign-in sheet, and I was like, "Where are we gonna park?"
Hold on, y'all. Look at that right there. Look at what Pyro just said. I was planning on having safety in numbers, but ended up at the farthest camp out next to the water. I gifted ancient tobacco and peppermints to keep the tricksters away. Now, Pyro knows more about that stuff than I do. He comes from Native heritage. That's a cool thing right there. All right, good to know.
Good piece of knowledge.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard before that was one of the things about like the tricksters was that they adore tobacco. I didn't know about peppermint. I don't know if it's Yeah, but I have heard that about the tobacco. So that was a way to keep the little people at bay. You could, kind of pay them off or bribe them to leave you alone.
Maybe, Paul. I don't know. I'm not an expert in cryptids or what they watch or what they do or whatnot. I just know that there was controlled burning there for a few weeks at least before we got there.
Yeah.
And it's normally, I mean, I've been to LBL in the spring before, and I gotta say, fall is pretty active compared to everything. Plus, having 100 and some crazy Bigfoot people out there at a meet and greet, I'm just surprised at the amount of activity that was there.
Speaking of crazy, I looked up one day, Pat. Right, I looked over at Greg, Misty, and JR over here, and I look up and I see somebody come walking out of the woods. And it's Joe Parker, like John Appleseed, come walking out.
Yes.
He walked from Red Hollow all the way over.
Yeah. It went on a walkabout.
Hey, and Parker, if you're not going to get on here, I'm just going to talk for you, and I know you would love that. But Joe brought. Don't be laughing, Kevin. Don't be laughing, Ashby. I'll put you off here and just fill in and be like, "Oh, Kevin told me this. Kevin told me that," and just make it all up. Don't think.
Hey, I was going to throw out there, if you have any signatures for Larry Porch III, you might want to hang on to those. Just saying.
Yes, if anybody that had stuff signed, because everybody was walking around getting sticks signed and all kinds of stuff, and everybody around camp was signing it. Ashby signed one or two things, Larry Porch III. So if you have that, that's a collector's item right there. But hold on, I do have to say, Joe and Pat. First of all, my girls absolutely love, and it was really good myself too. But my girls absolutely love the jelly that they gave me. I cannot think of. It's not
muscadine.
Muscadine.
That come off of my muscadine vines at my house. They got a bunch of muscadines, and Miss Pat made them when they got back to Louisiana.
What are you doing? You just First of all, I was talking house. Number two, I was trying.
No, you wasn't. You weren't talking. You couldn't remember what you're saying.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Shut up, Roger.
You was hung up.
Anyway, the muscadine jelly was really good, but I'm gonna tell you something. Parker makes really, really impressive walking sticks, y'all.
Yeah.
He donated one for the raffle. I picked the best one that I could find for the raffle.
Did you
get that one? Ashby, you got that one?
3 of them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Damn it.
Did you see the dang thing that he carved on that stick for Abby, the Bigfoot? He hand carved it?
Yes.
She's
going to get it.
She's going to get it. Yeah. Yeah. She's got a whole shelf in her room now with all of her Bigfoot trinkets from LBL. Oh, yeah.
They brought smoked sausage. That's cool as hell. Look at that. Parker carved that.
Yep. He carved it. She's been like beside herself. She got all kind of treasures.
Oh yeah, the muscadine. I'm telling you, the jelly is real damn good, real good. I did not know that it was the one from Greg, which Greg raises award-winning muscadines, and everybody goes over there and steals all his stuff. But anyway. Anyway, Parker, thank you for donating that stick. Thank you for bringing the smoked sausage and, just walking around and giving everybody hell, because I couldn't get to everybody. So I'm glad you were there for the other part to cover who I couldn't get to.
I don't even know what all Miss Pat cooked. I know that night I made jambalaya. She come up with some gumbo.
She made nachos. She made nachos.
She made like 5 gallons of nachos.
Yeah.
Man, I missed out on that. We were full, and they just started it after you cleaned the pot, right?
Yeah.
I'll be back in 1 second. Don't let Roger talk anymore because he insulted me, and y'all give Ashby help. I'll be back in a second.
Hey, Greg. Now, you know the story you tell about Kumbo's, how he drives?
The sad part is the only one I can hear is Spencer. That's the sad part.
Oh, you can't hear us?
You can't hear us?
Ugh.
So Kevin,
no.
Kevin can't hear us at all? I don't know.
We were coming in the Colson Hollow, and
Yeah.
Kumbo was coming out, and that's all I got to say. I got to experience getting out of the way.
He drives that truck like he stole it.
I was videoing. I said, "Oh crap, Kumbo's gonna kill us!" And I had to take a picture. But it was fun to get to meet everybody.
Yeah,
and we keep. I don't even. It went by so fast too. You said it. It went. It was amazing. And my biggest regret, I think, same as you, that I didn't get to spend time more. But you know, we sat over there under our little awning.
Yeah.
And people would come and come by. It was so wild. Heather was like, I was sitting here and Honey was laying down, her dog there, and said people would walk by and say, "Hey, Honey," and just keep going. She said, I don't know how they know her name on the videos,
Yeah. Spencer, why can't Kevin hear us? He can hear you, and that's it.
Damn, that's a shame. I don't know. Ashby, you can't hear us?
No, I can't hear you.
Get out and come back in.
Okay.
Squirrel. China done got Kevin. Man down.
No,
man down.
Man
Wheel him down.
I wish she could get back in here.
I know it. Man,
Oh,
part of
so-
some of
Go
the
ahead.
funniest stuff was Squirrel chasing people around the damn campsite, and she made fried dandelions, and she made some brownies, and we're not going to talk about those. But anyway, there it is. Let's see if this works now. Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Maybe you can hear all of us.
I can hear all of you now.
Oh, sweet.
Well, good. Stop talking. We'll let Abby talk. Abby,
Okay.
Abby, did you meet Ashby? Did you meet Kevin?
I did not meet.
You're better off for it. Never mind.
There was too many people, wasn't it, baby?
There was too many people.
She had too many s'mores.
Oh gosh. Did I thought
Abby, what did you think of that cabin y'all stayed in?
It was nice. I got to sleep on like a tractor bunk bed. I had fun.
yeah, she had a big time. I mean, we'd call it a cabin. I mean, it's just an old farmhouse. This got Airbnbs, and that was the second time we've rented it. And I mean, it's just this thing was built like the 1920s. So, but yeah, we've rented it, and I plan on renting it again if I go back up there. So, but yeah, and that's what I tried to. I wanted a lot of people. Maybe there's a lot of people didn't know it, but I mean, you don't have to. If you want to come to one of these things, you don't have to stay in the camp. I mean, me with my leg in a cast, it would have been rough. So, some of these people that are older or got physical problems or whatever, I mean, y'all, there's a slew of Airbnbs. There's motels and hotels, and it ain't gonna break the bank. I mean, there's places in Grand Rivers that are really inexpensive that you can rent a motel room.
Well, hold on, y'all. First of all, Greg and all them could not have stayed with us anyway because we would have pitched a damn fit and fuss at him because he just got out of surgery. So that was a no-go. But there is, like he said, at LBL, there's all kinds of places around there that you can rent and stay, and you're 30, 45 minutes away from where we were staying and everything. So that was for the best. But there was quite a few people that ended up doing that. Roger, why are you here? Where's your wife? I want to talk to Heather.
She's asleep. So,
well, put honey on in your place. Just get out of the way and put honey on.
She's in the same room. But y'all, they had a blast. I know Heather's. She sits back and listens, and it takes her a little while. And I told people they think I'm joking. I said we dated for 3 weeks. I didn't know if she liked me or not. So,
Well, you're lucky you pulled it off.
Look, she was. Yeah, all right. That's a seal the deal. She
Jeff, you can get on here. Jeff, there's a link. There's a link in the description up top of the comments, brother. Jeff Townsend showed up. You can get on here, Jeff.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had a blast and talked about people, Billy and Misty and all y'all who just people started sending her friend requests. She was signing her name on things, and I think she talked about it longer than I did. But
you ain't got to ask me, Abby. You're up here with us.
Oh Lord,
I'd rather listen to you than Roger anyway.
What are you? Well, Roger, let Roger finish up. We'll talk.
No, we'll get Roger later.
What do you want to tell him about, baby?
I'm sorry, Roger. I'm just messing.
So, like the third night or so, I had an encounter down there where that bathroom was, because I'd helped Tiffany walk down there because the roots of the trees were up, so she couldn't see those. So I helped her walk down there. She was using the bathroom. I was outside laying against 2 walls, and she was in there. The light bulb was gone. She couldn't see. Crunch, and they were like small crunches, and then like 2 more crunches.
Yeah, they got near something behind that vault toilet up in the woods that came down around them, and I think Tiffany heard it too.
That was right behind Rogers, where quite a few people heard something. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got to say, for posterity's sake, we don't know what it was, but there was. I will tell you this: if you were there and you had listened to all of the people coming up saying, we heard vocalizations, we found tracks. There was a couple people, I ain't going to name the other people, but there was a couple people that possibly had sightings. What Abby's talking about right there is in the same area that Roger was talking about whenever something come up behind and they could hear breathing. I don't know. Anyway, you might have, baby. You might have.
There was
right there.
Well, it was. I can tell you the night it was. It was Friday night. There was something came up behind where my camper thing was sitting. There was something walked through the woods behind me, but I didn't see any lights, and I can't tell you what it was. I mean, but it was something. Something walked around through the woods, and it just kept traveling, going around the camp. So I can't tell you.
I was over by Roger and around that way, and I heard what I thought was people walking behind the tent. And I was like, that's kind of stupid to be walking behind this tent this time of night. This is like 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm like, I don't have a clue. We had lights going off and on everywhere. So
there was
there's no telling.
That one that got scary was about 1:30. And I would be interested if I ever see Cam again to ask him if he heard anything, because he was right beside us. Billy was towards the bathroom there, and then you had Christy. I don't know if Christy was there.
Christy was on the other side of me.
Okay, all right. So yeah, it was. There was something. It was 2 feet. It wasn't. It wasn't 4. And when it got up next to the tent, I felt like I could slap the tent and hit it. And of course, like he's like you'd be dumb to be doing that time of morning. And I heard, I don't know if it was Anthony or Spencer or both said, "What is that?" They heard something over there. Somebody at the fire heard it. And when I got out, they were paying attention. They were 15, 20 yards away.
We got the thermals out and we looked. We didn't see anything. But I mean, at what point do you go, whenever you got 20, 30 people are saying, "Hey, I hear something," or "I heard something from over there"? I mean, at what point do you chalk it up to, there must have been something to cause everybody to stop and look and listen, and stuff is all happening from the same spot. I mean, I don't know. Can't say exactly what it was, but
I came out of the tent like a groundhog. I was like, I don't feel safe in here.
Yeah, I think Joe Parker and Miss Pat, they were some of the last ones, I guess, to leave Red's Hollow because they stayed like till Tuesday. But
really?
Yeah, the way they talked, they had some activity in Red's Hollow, like Monday night or something.
Everybody that was at Red's Holler was saying Red's Holler, just so everybody knows, Red's Holler and Colson's Holler, where the main meet and greet was. The main meet and greet was at Colson's Holler, the private campground that we rented. Red's Holler is down the road by maybe 3/4 of a mile, something like that. It's not very far.
Not very far.
Everybody over there. There was quite a few people staying over there.
And that wolf, the way it was headed, it would have come that ridge between the two places if it had continued across the road. If we hadn't, surprised it. So there was definitely stuff moving around. And what was wild, we went back every night, and one night we saw like 2 deer, and then one of the Saturday night we saw a few. But that one night when there was all that activity people were talking about, there were 75 to 100 deer in groups of 2, 3, 4. Not huge groups, but they were everywhere for 20 miles. So if the deer are out, I guess the things that eat deer are out too.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. It was wild. I had fun.
All I can say is, as far as the meet and greet goes, I think it came off really well. We had a lot of people there, y'all. We had a lot of people. We had a lot of, there were people like Troy Allen that you never see on YouTube. But anyway, they were up there talking live in front of everybody. Obviously, we had Kumbo there. There was just so many people that had a ton of experience. It was good to see everybody all in one place. It was all you could do to keep up with. You would have one conversation over here, another one over there. And like Greg stayed up at his little, he pulled that camper trailer thing up there and house parked up there. And he had 15, 20 people surrounding him while he was cooking food every time I looked up.
I wanted to feel good about that they was just there to talk to me, but I think I was waiting on food to get done.
They might have been. I saw people gathering around Ashby and talking to him after I had made friends with him. They were all like, "Oh, okay, you must be cool and everything." So they started talking to him.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
You wait, Ashby. We're gonna grass out in the woods when there's only a handful of us.
Well, we were going back to the cabin that about 1:30 in the morning, and Spencer, they were loading up the truck going out to do some boogering. I guess I don't know how all that went, but Heather said, "Where are they going?" And then Misty come up and she said, her dog. You remember when her dog was barking back behind Greg?
Yeah, and we checked with the thermal then. Yeah,
and I noticed she was barking, but I looked down. She's looking into the woods. And I'm like, not a JR. Look, she's locked on to something, and so I got a little bit nervous. But Misty came over there, and Heather's sitting down. It's dark, and she's looking there. I'm fixing to go in the woods and walk around, see if I find out what that is. You want to go? And Heather's like, "You talking to me?" She said, "Yes." She said, "No, I'm not going to the woods." But y'all, I appreciate everybody in chat, everybody that came, making us feel welcome. It was and it was fun too, like seeing Christy on Facebook. She sat in a traffic jam for like 10 hours eating lunch on the interstate, and then she shows up in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
sleeps for like half a day. I think Billy went and checked on her.
Yeah,
it's called the booger wagon. I'm sorry, Al.
Yes.
Well, we thought if I'd have known there were bears there, y'all, I never would have had my apples out. And I had some food sitting out. And I go back after we see this thing on the side of the road, and I, I won't say bear butts. I was Googling bear butts when I got back to the Wi-Fi, like to see, what everything was shaped like. And I was like, oh my God, they have bear here. I went and looked it up on the whatever site, and I'm like, we need to get this food out of here. But
hey,
live and learn.
A quick thing for everybody in chat, unless one of y'all know. Whenever Anthony and I had to get out of there, we left early at like 4:30 in the morning on Sunday, but we left the flags up. I figured that somebody would take them down and somebody would keep the flags. Who got the flags? Those 3 flags that were up there on the rope. And by the way, where's my rope? Whoever got that. I'm more concerned about the rope than I am the flags. But
you can't tie a knot. You don't even need a rope.
No, Mary. Look, she's going to start this shit again. It was from holes, Mary, not from the cold. It was from holes in the mattresses. That was 15 minutes of my life wasted arguing with you about that, just so you know, Mary.
My sister told me to tell Misty thanks for the lip balm and stuff. And I said, well, I don't know what's in it. You might not think.
Yeah. You tell your sister we said thanks for those dang dog tags she made.
Y'all, what? And y'all, I only had like 10 of them, and so I was. And my sister Rachel made Spencer and Greg and Misty personalize them with their name. Then I had a few more, so I was handing them out, and I said, "Now look, here's the rules. I said, I survived LBL meet and greet 2024. I said, if something eats you up and tears you apart by Saturday night, I'm getting these back and giving them somebody else to survive this. So that's the rules." Oh, Billy got your rope.
Look at
hey, y'all. I was doing a video at the cabin, and it was on It was Sunday morning early, and my phone. It was a call on Messenger from Billy. Put the
Dee Dee wants you to get 8.
I know. But Billy called and he's like, "Hey, are y'all coming to get y'all stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "We'll be there here in a little while." And he stayed there and watched our stuff. I was like, "Oh, we're on the way." But he was so much help. We finally learned how to use that buddy heater. We were huddled around it over there. But Billy was funny. He said, "Man, I fell asleep on top of stuff in the back of my truck. I woke up and I was sleeping on my boot." He said, "My foot was in it."
That's a bad day.
Yeah. And it was cold. He was numb. He couldn't feel it. So
no doubt.
Y'all,
I'll tell you a couple funny things. Y'all, just so you know, there's nobody on here right now, I don't think, that was at the Bama's birthday thing that we were out there at LBL, where Anthony had the damn grill with the legs that sprung out. There's so much behind that story, but it's funny because Anthony was really proud of this grill and couldn't get it to work. He popped the legs out and he was showing everybody how impressive it was, and it worked the very first time. But as soon as Larry Porch got around him, Quan walked up and wanted to show Larry Porch, and then it wouldn't work. Which anybody that knows Larry Porch, he's the damn jinx of all kinds. I can't make a fire around Larry Porch. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. But anyway, what was funny is, number one, Anthony's got this whole saga behind him with this grill that would not light. It was funny. It was like, that's all we talked about for a weekend. We've talked about it on different videos. But anyway, Cam had a hard time getting his stove, his little propane, like Coleman stove, lit, and Anthony figured it out. It was that Cam just wasn't turning the knob far enough to get the propane flowing, and it would never light. So Anthony figured out the propane on that, but he could not get the damn grill to work. And I'll tell you something else that was funny. Cam Buckner texted after he left, and he had a pretty nice like camp chair. And he texted me because he had my number, and he said, "I left my chair there by accident. Please give it to Misty." And I gave her that chair, and all I heard for a day and a half was about how Cam liked her better than me and left her that damn chair. She commented about it earlier too.
Yeah.
But Misty's a big old punk ass, and everybody gives everything to her.
Well,
Cam gave me the chair.
I'm just glad Cam had a big time. I mean, I think he really had a good time.
And y'all, for the people that weren't there, and some of you were there, he camped beside us. I saved a spot for Spencer, and he went on by. He just had his nose up there.
That's
went on by
because
and up
they
in the
told
woods.
me to go.
I was
You
flagging
weren't
him down
there.
like right here.
You
Well,
weren't
Cam
there.
pulled him. But no, it was so fun sitting there, and people were like didn't know who he was, and he said,
Yeah.
How are you doing? And hear his voice. Oh, I know you. We listen to you all the time. He said, I don't hear it. I said, I do.
Yes, Cam.
It's unique, But I just have to give a shout out to him. He was just so we didn't talk about podcasting or anything like that. We just we hung out for a long time, and then one day he just started talking about it a little bit, and everybody was there. It's just like the pictures. We were all meeting each other and almost forgot to take pictures. But
y'all, why? Look, we're jinxed. Why do we never do a big group photo? We should have had everybody in one big massive photo.
Yeah,
man, I can't believe we didn't get that. We had Kane and Eric there. We had Kane, Michael, and Eric Tippett. Y'all, there were so many people there. I wish everybody could have seen it. It was a good time. I'm telling you.
And I talked to people and didn't figure out who they were until we got back home. Oh, how many people? Raise your hand.
Yeah,
raise
that's
your
what I'm
hands
talking about. Kumbo tried to give Misty the damn. Well, he did give Misty the rock. He had to give me another one.
No doubt.
How many in chat? Raise your hands. Had to cook a crap load of food Monday and Tuesdays that you cooked, and you didn't get to cook it because of Greg. We were like, what are we gonna make out of this 10 pounds of hamburger? I don't know, but we got to cook that pork loin too.
all I can tell you is with an 11 and a half hour ride home after eating Greg's cooking for 3 days, there's probably a lot of convenience stores and stuff like that on the way home that aren't going to let me in there anymore.
In the middle,
out of service signs on them.
Yeah.
What was so funny though was when me and Kumbo and Troy were talking, and then we're in the middle of all that, and then all of a sudden the Park Service rolls up and they get out pressure washing with a pressure wash, gas powered pressure washer. And they're blasting the vault, pulling on the inside. And I spoke up. I was like, "Look, I got questions. I don't know who did that, but it's bad."
She got out with 2 rolls of toilet paper. I'm like, this lady's on a mission.
And they did. And it's not like they drove up in there slow. That they were in 4-wheel drive, hitting all the gears, going up in there. And she pulled out that damn gas-powered pressure washer on a cord that come out of the back of the truck. You could hear it blasting inside there.
When was it story time where we had to sound like the military helicopter came over?
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. I'm like, are they checking on us or what's going on? There are actually 2 in there at that point, but one was headed the other way.
Yeah.
Oh
man. Well, we was talking about people a while ago. Somebody we ain't even mentioned. We had Hoosier Squatch. We had Jamie show up. I mean,
we had the
older couple that I didn't know who they were.
Dan and Ricky, or Dan and Vicky.
We had Dan, Ricky, and Vicky Fulcher show up, y'all. Yeah. I mean, that was, if you don't know who they are, you've not looked into legitimate Bigfoot stuff long enough. Yeah. But anyway, I cannot believe that they showed up. We had Scott and Sheila Granger with what do they call that thing?
It's Squatch fishing adventures, or
yes, something like that.
Yeah,
they take people out and take them fishing, and then they camp in North Georgia up in very squatchy areas, and they've had quite a bit of experience themselves.
I think it's what LJ, Georgia.
It's something right up there. Yeah, I think so.
Don't forget Elijah and his sister.
Yeah.
I can't. Elijah and Gabby showed up.
Yeah.
Man, I was proud to see Jody Jobuck show up. Man, Jody was funny.
Yes.
And look, y'all, I know, look, there's going to be people that we forgot their names.
Yeah.
Just so many. And look, no disrespect to nobody. It was just we're kind of goofy, and y'all realize that. So we're probably leaving folks out.
Sherry and Mr. Jim.
Yes, Lord.
Mr. Jim was great. He was funny as hell.
Martin Ganley.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. Yeah.
And let me get this straight. So the wood, that little small pile of wood that was brought early on, was somebody else?
That's the wood that we paid for.
Yeah.
That was 200 for that wood.
No, not even the logs that were split, just a little bit of slats.
And then was it Mr. Tucker that did he brought that trailer load in?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tucker brought a 12-foot long hydraulic trailer and dumped 2 cords of wood on the ground.
Hey, look, it looked like two bundles of lumber mounded up. I mean, they had to be 5,000 pounds of wood.
You could have built a shed out of it.
That's what I'm talking about, Roger. I wasn't kidding a while ago. We was only 4 Amish men away from building a barn.
Yeah, I was doing the live. I said, "Look, I think a woodwalker stole a barn. If he might missing a barn, if they stole."
Yeah, it was. It was sawmills.
And hey, speaking of that, Jr., Larry Porsche, Jamie Ginter, they broke out chainsaws and axes. There's probably other people that I'm missing. Probably Bob. I don't know, but they broke out chainsaws and axes and split all that up. Ronnie Tucker ran down to the ranger station and made sure it was okay that some of that was left there, but it was enough firewood for another week if we wanted to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
And JR, he wanted to kill me for like 2 seconds. They were over there, Larry, he was busting the wood up, and they were taking a turn, and JR hit it about 8 times, and it didn't move. And I yelled out, "Hey, JR, hit it with a sharp end." He said, I wanted to sling it at you, but the axe. But see, that's what JR told me, and we were talking about it. And I've heard people say it. As soon as we all met each other for the first time, it was like we were like-minded. We picked with each other. We were comfortable around each other. I don't know whether it's because of the exposure before, but I've never been in a crowd like that. I was relaxed. And it seemed like everybody was so welcoming. I hugged more people in 3 or 4 days than I have my whole life.
Did you hug Ashby? Because if you did you go home and take a shower right away?
Oh,
well,
God.
Me and Kevin agreed not to talk about that.
That's it. What happens at the meet and greet stays there.
That's right.
Ashby. Easy, man. Easy.
But it was, and the stories that were being told. There were several of them at the same time. You had the official ones going on. You had Greg up in the corner entertaining people, and then in little pockets all the way down to the water.
Yeah,
where people, it was amazing, y'all. I mean, we couldn't top that.
People don't realize. I mean, when we're talking about from where I was at all the way down to the lake, it's 200 yards or better, and it's 75 yards wide. The campground where we were at. I mean, this is a big area.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, this is like a big place. We ain't talking about like somebody's front yard. No, it's a big area, and it was full of folks.
Well, when I pulled in, y'all know the first field, and there was a couple of tents down there on the right next to the water, way away from y'all. And Heather was like, "Oh, there's somebody over there." So that's got to be Bama.
Yeah.
And when he come up, where are you at?
Bama and Rodney and them, they all hang out way away from everybody.
Yeah.
Well, he likes that. He likes that.
Let me run something by you, and I didn't say anything to you, Spencer. But I didn't realize that D.A. Roberts' co-host Robbie was there, and they filmed some stuff or done something, and I didn't get to meet him. I don't know what like I said, me being a cripple on the other end of the camp, but
man, I didn't hardly get to meet him either. I think Neoma Finn said something about him being there.
Yeah.
And
they were at a different campground.
They were at a different campground?
Yes.
Yeah. There, y'all, we had, whenever we were doing the raffle, I don't even know who they were, but there were 4 or 5 younger folks, like late teenage, early 20s, show up, and they were like, we saw all these vehicles coming in this way, and they were like, we followed them, and they were like, is this a Bigfoot thing? And I was like, yeah, it's a meet and greet. And they bought raffle tickets and everything and hung out.
Wow.
I don't know who they were.
I know when we got there, I think some of the first people, one of the first ones that we talked to, not the first one, but
Parker
Debbie
Prozac or something. He's being way too nice. Thank you, Joe.
Debbie Porch came up to me and Heather, and we were talking, and she talked to us for a better part of an hour. And I'm just, when I'm hearing stories, y'all know, I'm just
Debbie Porch only talked to you for a half hour.
Okay. Well, it was so awesome, and Heather's like, I've been telling her how good of people everybody is, except for Spencer, and she believed it, I guess. But no, but after she met everybody, Wanda came over there and talked to us, and she walked off, and Heather said, "She's so sweet." She noticed. She noticed the ankle holster too. I said, "Yeah, she can use it."
Yeah.
So we'll have to get them all together someday.
No doubt. Hey, well, here's something else I'm gonna throw in, which Abby's gonna run away right now when I was gonna throw it. But the thing about it, y'all, I mean, like coming there and like what Roger's talking about, Heather coming, Wanda came. Where's the thing? If you're interested and your spouse ain't, and you're trying to get them to go, y'all, there's a lot of stuff there to see and do. I mean, Wanda and Abby, they went down to Dover. They had a bunch of little shops and trinket malls or whatever. They, Abby went and looked at the bison. They went and stopped at the big iron furnaces. They was just all kinds of stuff there to see. The fort thing, there in Dover. I mean, they went to all that stuff. There is a pile of stuff for somebody to do in that area, and not just sit in camp. But
at LBL, y'all, they got buffalo. They got elk. I mean, it really, in all honesty, it wasn't about boogers. I mean, that's what we all had in common, and that's why we showed up, the YouTube shows and everything dealing with Bigfoot. But really, in all honesty, I'm telling you, it was like a family reunion. We all had a good time. We ate good. We met new people. Look, I got damn Ashby in here right now, and I'm going to take his ass out here in the next little while. See, you meet people and you like them, or look at Abby.
She got another big thing.
You make friends. Roger's wife is awesome. I like her way better than him.
Well, Patrick said Roger kept abandoning her. What would happen? Like Patrick was over there at the 10x10, and Joe was over there, and Billy was over there, and I'd see somebody come in that I knew who they were, and I would leave them and go introduce myself or whatever. I'd come back a little while later, and I would needed more chairs, but I think for everybody that came up to us, I would have been over at the fire more if we hadn't had our dog with us. I kind of wanted to keep an eye on her, and she did well. It was good for her being around all the people coming up petting her, and and see, like Misty and JR, like before we left, they're like, y'all need to come up sometime. I said, well, the next time we go over to Gatlinburg area, we'll give you a holler and we'll go out to eat or do something. So, it's I've always kept my circle small because of how people act, and with this group here, it's bigger now than it's been in a long time.
Roger, here's what you just said, but here's my thing, guys. And some of these people may have thought, well, I would have went, but we got young kids like Abby's age or whatever. Y'all, that child, I had not to worry about that child around this group. Now look, it's a bunch of adults. Sure, they was people consuming some beverages and stuff. Never saw a crossword from anybody. Nobody ever done anything. Nothing out of the way. Y'all, you could not be around a group of people like this and anybody be any more cordial. Just a wonderful group of people. And they treated everybody there treated Abby like she was their niece. Yep. I mean, that Abby came up like Thursday night or whatever, and she's getting something there where I was cooking. I was like napkins or a bowl or something. I said, what are you doing? She said, well, I got to get like a bowl. I said, what for? She goes, Grammy needs one. I'm like, who's Grammy? She goes, Donna said she told me that her grandbabies call her Grammy, so I just might as well call her Grammy too. So she's calling her Grammy.
I got a different name for Donna.
Oh, Lord. Hey, look, now her and Abby, they like peas and carrots. But y'all, it's just like everybody there kept an eye on my child. And I mean, unreal. So I mean, that the only thing I wish is I think, well, Bob Dahl brought his daughter, but other than that, that was the only children that were there. And I wish they had been a bunch of kids that could have been heard the stories about the, I hate to call it stories, heard about the encounters and got to meet some of these people so they could learn this stuff. And that's one of the things that Abby has. She's grown up around this, y'all. I mean, she's not just getting it thrown in her lap. I mean, I've been dealing with these things for 24 years, and Abby's just turned 12. Matter of fact, her birthday and mine was last Thursday.
How about that? Hey, everybody, if you did not know that, we posted it on Facebook, but Greg and Abby have the same birthday. It was just a couple days ago. So if you didn't wish them happy birthday on Facebook, you can do it here right now.
Yeah, Abby, she turned 12 and I turned the big 50. So
that's awesome. Same day. Welcome to the 50 Club, Greg.
No doubt, man. I knew it was going to be downhill. I just didn't know it would be going off of a
So, y'all, right quick, when we were signing things, it was just something we were signing, and I like seeing the names, and y'all were giving things away and all that. Well, when Abby come up and asked me to sign, and I looked down, I saw Kumbo's name, and then there was another signature, and I put my name on there. Then it hit me, especially with hers.
Thanks, Rick.
20 years from now, she's gonna have that book and say, "Look, all these people were there, and I was there." And some of us might not, or probably won't be here, 20, 25 years from now. So that one kind of hit me different when she had it, because I knew she'd have it for longer than the other people. So anyway, I was honored, and Heather, she said, I can't believe people wanted me to sign stuff. And somebody said, well, you should have got an ink pad for Honey's paw. But and the dogs, Niffy, Moose. The animals are more famous than anybody.
Yeah, Sister.
Everybody was coming up to the dogs, and Sister, Mark and Becca's dog, and then they had I can't remember the other one's name.
Gypsy.
Yeah, so that was so fun. The guy from Utah, I was up at Greg's booger wagon, and I saw somebody coming up, and he's like, Roger. I'm like, yeah. And he said, you and Heather went on vacation in Utah up to Skinwalker Ranch. He said, that's where I live. I live close to there. And I'm like, what? He said, yeah. And then you went here and you did that. And I'm like, we forget sometimes. We're talking to each other. We got people in chat. And when you have 1,500 people watch this particular show, and then you have the ones that watch every show, 1,500 people at a gathering or, a movie theater would be packed 3 times over, I would imagine. At that, so that's it kind of brought it into perspective a little bit that we're reaching. Well, like River, we've got people in UK, Australia, and Spencer's talked about analytics. You get people from all these other countries. It's a small percentage, but it floored me that he drove up. But anyway,
next time we get River over,
Yeah, hey, look, before I forget it, I talked to him live chat after we got back. I did that Discover Sasquatch with Reinhardt last Monday, and then I think it was Monday night that I talked to River, and he's wanting us to have his buddy down there in Australia, that Yowie Dan. He's getting over, broke his ankle. He's getting over it, so he's wanting to come on the show. So maybe we can get him on there to let him talk to us a little bit more about Bigfoot in Australia.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Christy, the big one was Mac, and the goofy looking was Clover. She didn't do what Peyton
Clover was awesome. Clover was the lover.
Yeah, she was half. What is he? Half German Shepherd and Redbone or something. I don't know.
He looked like a red belt, well, similar to one, but
and she's changed. The older she's gotten, she's changed. Look,
Bud and Angie can make some mean ass damn deer jerky and sausage too. By the way, y'all.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'll go get a piece of that. I got some left.
They was
I got left.
Hey, I munched on jerky all the way the 4.5 hours back to here. It's what kept me sustained me coming back was jerky.
They were passing it out everywhere. He was like, "Hey, here's some."
Yeah, I think Bob Dahl.
As much of that stuff as he handed out, there was a lot of work went into making that much jerky.
Yes, sir. There was a lot of think of all the people making those walking sticks.
Yes,
between Gary Spikes and Parker.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll wait for Roger to get back here, but y'all, it was a great turnout. It was a great time. Thank you, everybody. Yes, very nice of them to make jerky for all of us. I agree. That was awesome.
Yeah, look, y'all, I'm telling you, anybody that didn't come, we can't put enough words to it to express how good a time everybody had. And if y'all didn't come, y'all missed out.
I wish Squirrel was on here today because she would add into her crazy ass running around all over the place.
She was gathering up dandelions, and somebody yelled at her, "Hey, my dog peed on those."
Yeah,
it was so funny. I love JR. I mean,
yeah,
yes,
he likes to joke just as much as she does. But
Squirrel, can you get back on real quick? Is your internet still busted? Can you get back on and say goodbye to everybody?
Roger, we decided those was called dandelions.
My son, y'all know how crazy he is. He acts decent around folks, but you get him in the chat. He's something else.
Peyton and I, that was my first time getting to meet him in person. We got to share a drink and smoke a cigar together. Roger and I swapped cigars. I think, didn't I give you one, Roger, or did I not?
No, Peyton probably got two.
Oh, damn.
That's okay.
That's okay. Yes, I agree. That's okay. But
hey, there's so much going on. I mean, I was wanting you to have some more of that drink that I brought, but we were so busy we never got to get any more of that.
Well, I'll tell you what, that sherry cask that Peyton had, normally I don't like stuff like that, but I was surprised at how good that was. But anyway.
He got that on the cruise, and he said, "Well, I'm going up there on Saturday. I'm going to bring Spencer that and let him try." So it's just like this beef jerky or deer jerky. I've got some left. When I find something I like to savor it. So I don't drink a lot of bourbon. I'll sip on it. Yeah. Greg, I found some that he might like, and gave
Greg,
it to him.
Tell him about the Wildcat, Greg.
I didn't even try that.
Man, I know. I was gonna send it, and the thing about it, Spencer took off like he left like a thief in the night before I woke up Sunday. I was gonna send what was left of that half a gallon with him. Ooh.
Yeah, his truck would have made it all the way back to Virginia on that thing. That if he'd poured it in it.
Yeah. I wouldn't have had to stop for gas the last time.
No doubt, that was homemade.
But Greg, you my neighbor though. I can be there in just a little while. So.
That's right. I mean, Roger, you can be here. I mean, it's what,
hour and a half,
100 miles, maybe.
It ain't that far.
But we got, hey, look, and y'all, the person that I laughed at the most over the whole deal, and not laughing at him, laughing with him, was look there. She's got the camera up. You can see what was hiding on the wall behind the.
Yeah, ain't no hiding that. That's at Greg's house, y'all.
Yeah, that's one corner of the living room. Then you go all the way around the roof or the ceiling of the living room. It's deer heads all the way around, bobcats.
I've seen that living room. It looks like something that ought to be a quarter of the store of Cabela's.
Yeah, it's like Wild Kingdom and the living. And the thing about it, people go, "How do you get your wife to let you hang these up?" And I'm like, "Well, that big 8-point right there, and that one's hers. That one's hers." So
wait, a lot of y'all ain't gonna get this, and I'm not gonna elaborate. But
that was the man down.
Man down. Man down.
Oh God, that was man down. I don't know what happened. Look, I started calling him for 3 days. I called Joe Parker Humpty Dumpty. He like, I don't know. I mean, like I looked over and I looked back, and by the time my head moved, I saw him like disappear. And I looked, and he's tumbling in that ditch full of leaves, and the chair's on top of him.
Yeah,
and he looked like a turtle. He looked like a big turtle somebody put on his back. He's like arms and legs, and he had the struggles. It was bad, but I thought, and look, me being me, I was like concerned that he was wounded. Everybody else was dying laughing. I was like, "Are you all right?" He's like, "Well," and finally he gets up. He wasn't hurt. I think maybe his pride, but I don't know. I don't know if it was a trick chair. I don't know.
No. Y'all, we almost had an accident. Mark Newbill was backing that Dodge out.
Oh,
he didn't see that one of those concrete picnic tables, and his tire barely scraped. We were yelling at him, and if he'd have tore it pretty Dodge up, I'd have probably puked.
Oh.
He missed it, but it was close.
Yeah. But y'all,
I missed Joe Parker too, so I didn't see that one.
Y'all, we could sit here and talk a week solid about all the fun that happened up there, and we couldn't cover it all. I mean,
well, we've been on here for 2 hours now. We fairly well covered the meet and greet. All I can tell y'all is there will be a part 2, a Woodzstock part 2. Yep. Christy, did you help come up with that name? I forget who originally said that, but we adopted it.
I got Woods Walker stock, but yeah, they got shortened down. So here we go.
It's Woodzstock with a Z. Woods.
And I did see a clever one before we went over there. It was Woodzstock, which was pretty cool.
I kind of like that too, but we've already gone with Woodzstock, so we're going to stick with it.
Well, Wendell can come up with some stickers with Woodstock.
Okay. Wendell was passing out T-shirt. There was a bunch of people with T-shirts.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, we've been on here a while. Thank you to everybody that showed up and did the show. We'll do more shows like this where we will just post the link, and if people want to jump on and chat and everything, except for you, Ashby, people want to jump on and everything.
We hadn't let Kevin talk.
There's a design behind that, Roger.
Oh God,
where did Abby go?
Fine.
Let it go. Just let it go.
Oh God,
Kevin, do you have anything else to add to this conversation?
No, it was a good time. It was a real good time.
I was let down. I thought somebody was bringing the karaoke thing, but nobody karaoke. I thought, look, it would have been perfect for Spencer to get up on the picnic table and sung Frozen.
Roger, I was kind of like Roger on the first night he was on here. I'm just going to like sit back and watch.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Roger made a landmark on our show because he didn't say anything for the first hour and a half, and right at the end, whenever we were getting off, then he became all chatty.
Well, if we'd had the karaoke, the dog man would have come in and just wiped us all out for spite.
Yeah, that'd have killed us all.
We'd have drove them out to we could have set up a big line of people down the road. Like it'd been like standers in a deer drive, but we could run them off with music.
If we'd have done a karaoke with that crappy microphone that Larry Porch provided, it would have been all good because couldn't nobody hear half of it.
The little tax, tiny tax microphone.
Every other word, Spencer's like, put it closer to your mouth, closer to your mouth.
Hey, look, everybody, look, y'all ain't went online. Go on YouTube and look at Roger's how to split wood video.
Yeah.
We
We're
did
not
it
even
up,
saying
Dave.
anything about it.
I put it together finally. That's a City Slicker wood buster, and that is specifically designed for the compressed, glued sawdust.
No.
That's what that's made to bust.
And what's funny is Heather won't cuss and she won't flip anybody off, but she'll use that finger right there.
Oh God.
But no, y'all. I enjoy the picking and cutting up. So if y'all hear us,
That's funny. Is
and
you want to build a
oh yeah,
snowman?
when he said I wasn't aware that little pikes.
No, that'll be Spencer. He will have to write him a song. Do you want to build a fire?
Well, then we had Spencer in answering back. He pulled out his collectible axe he stole from.
No.
I think
he
it's
busted the glass and stole an axe
on the road or something.
No. I'll tell y'all a funny story. I got that axe about 3 weeks ago from a customer. This is on YouTube, and ain't nobody gonna know who the customer is, so I don't feel bad about saying it. But I was working on their house because they're selling it to move to Florida, and they were like, "Do you want an axe?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I'll take one." And she's like, "Here," and she hands it to me. It's brand new in like the plastic case that you buy at Lowe's, where the plastic thing that hangs on the little, you know what I'm talking about, to slide off. And anyway, I was like, "You don't need it?" She's like, "We don't need it where we're going. We're going to Florida, like in a community." And I was like, "Well, okay, well, they still got wood in Florida." And she's like, No. That was our security thing. And I'm looking at her and she's like, "Yeah, if somebody broke into the house, we were going to use that on them." And I said, "That's what a gun's for." And she said, "Well, we don't believe in guns. We had this." I was like, "You're going to hit them in the head with the axe because that's better than shooting them."
Yeah, that's more humane.
Look, I've ruined it at the end of this show. This whole show is going to be banned on YouTube now.
Look, here's the deal. And why in the world we needed Misty on here right now because I'm throwing her under the bus. I mean, I'm throwing her ass under the bus. We pull up and camp, and she'd been telling me for a week. For my birthday, she's going to make me a pineapple upside down cake in the Dutch oven. We come rolling up in there. We come rolling up in camp. Now, she never did get time. And I understand because everybody was busy, you know, but she didn't get to make the cake. But we come rolling up into camp, me and Troy and Alan, George White, we come rolling up. And
look, hold up. Look.
Don't you dare.
Oh,
you got a ring.
I gotta tell it. I can't hold this back with too many laughs. We can't hold back the laughs. This is a tsunami of laughter. I come pulling up. It's like circle around the campfire because I'm crippled. I can't walk. I'm pulling up here to my camper. We're in JR's camp right next to my booger wagon. Well, she's got this white fold-out table with a bunch of like her little cook stove or camp stove on it and some more stuff. And I look right in the middle of this big white table, right at the top of the camp, you know, up prestige area. There's a goddamn big pineapple, a whole freaking big giant pineapple sitting right out for display in the middle of her table. And I start just dying laughing. And Al and Troy, they're looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" Which I get that a lot. I was like, I don't know what kind of signals Misty's sending with this big pineapple on her table. I don't know if it's upside down. I don't know, but that's funny as heck. And then JR walks out and I'm like, "What is she trying to tell everybody?" And he's like, "What?" I said, "It's a sign for like these communes like Florida and stuff that you're a pineapple displayed." And then Misty finally comes around. I was like, "What are you telling people?" She's like, "Oh my God." So she goes and gets it and puts it up. But that was so priceless.
And then she fried dandelions.
Yeah, then she fried. Now look, the dandelions was okay. I mean, I couldn't tell a lot of difference between them and like a small button cap mushroom or something fried.
Dude, it's fried. It's fried.
Yeah. So.
And some people found morels there, and I'm so mad about that because I walked all over that damn hillside and did not find a single one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't y'all found some tracks or something, didn't you?
We found trackway. Well, what I think, in my opinion, is trackway. Y'all, I came back to camp after we did. I was like, I was with Mark Green and Anthony and Rebecca Green and the two boys that Mark Green brought with him, which they were all Bradney and Will. But anyway, Mark actually went there. I'll say this just so everybody knows. Mark posted a picture of what could have possibly been a booger because he was at LBL 2 weeks before we were there, maybe 3, something like that. And he wanted to go back and see if it was still there to disprove it. And we went there. It was still there. It was a tree or a bush of some kind. Probably a juniper by the looks of it from that far away. But he was like, man, it was like I was hoping it was something, but it wasn't. So gotta tell everybody. And while we were there, y'all, I hopped out of the truck and said, well, let's look at the mud over here on the power line going down where they had cut it and they had put out hay and probably planted seed and everything. But it was mud and it was, there was just hay on top of it. And we walked down the power line. We found what I'm pretty sure was trackway. I posted a video about it. I wasn't going to because we were at a Bigfoot meet and greet. And the last thing you want to do is be like, oh, we found all this evidence, because everybody's going to say, of course you did, at a Bigfoot meet and greet and everything. We weren't really boogering. We weren't out there to show people. We were out there to just meet everybody and say hello and have a good time. But I will say this. They were 4.5, 5 foot apart. They were in line. They were about 2 inches deep. And the really weird thing is, the very first couple that I saw, they were kind of like from the heel to the middle of the foot. And I didn't know what I was looking at. At first, I thought it might be horses. And 4 or 5 later, it was like from the heel to the ball of the foot. Kind of like 3/4 of a foot, but like no toes or something like that. And then a couple later, it was big ass feet. So I don't know if it was putting a heel down and then eventually it got to the point where it was putting the whole foot down. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. You can look at the video that I posted, but I can tell you this: at the end where it was pretty clear footsteps, I mean, it wasn't anything like dermal ridges or anything like that because it had the hair, the straw all over the top of it. But they were about 16 inches long. They were about 8 inches wide at the ball of the foot. They were going in line, not staggering. And they were about 2 inches deep. So you can look at the video and make up whatever you want out of it. But that's what we found.
And Abby just commented, I brought some blue glowing rock, and I was looking for Abby, and I asked somebody, I was like, where's Abby at? Oh, and they knew, she's over by the fire, over there. She's doing something. I gave her a few, said, hey, put these out. Don't go out by yourself and see if something moves them. I put out some around our place, and then Debbie and Larry had their tent over by Greg's stuff, and nothing moved anything. She just let me know that nothing moved it. So that, somebody said, what are you doing? I just for fun, just see. But yeah, we didn't have any moved either.
I hadn't really got to look at the video. I mean, I saw him say something there, Mary Fabian and him, but yeah, they got a video. I think that they're thinking it may be something peeking around the tree.
I haven't seen that, and that's part of the problem is we have different channels and everybody is talking about different things. We need to have one forum where we post all the stuff on. That's kind of like everybody posting pictures from this past weekend. A lot of people posted on their personal Facebook page, some of it on the Woodwalkers Facebook page, some of it on, other Facebook pages. But y'all, you kind of, to a degree, you have to live in this world and be a part of all these channels and know all these people to really put it all together, or you have to come to the meet and greet.
Yep.
So
that video's on the woodworker or woodwalkers Facebook page.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. You can't make it out what it is at the very end of the video, so it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
I have not seen that. I've not seen it because Misty set up the damn Facebook page, and I don't even get notifications about it. She's the one that gets notifications.
If we'd had our, I should have had Heather like filming the ride home. The next night we did it, and there's absolutely nothing. And there's like I've got an hour and 40-something minute video of nothing. I was just talking or whatever, and it's crazy.
Hold on. Yes, probably. We had podcasters show up. Like, I didn't even know who they were until they showed up, and they were recording their own stuff and doing stuff on different channels. They probably don't mention us or anything, but there were so many people there, y'all. Yeah. Anyway, it was a good time, and next time I hope we have 200 people.
Yeah. Billy. Y'all, I'm bad with names. Hold on, Gary. I hadn't met him yet, officially met him yet, and he said, "Roger, you got me in trouble." I'm like, "What'd I do?" He said, "You posting them videos, and I get people calling me and saying, why aren't you posting videos? I don't have signal." I was going back and posting them with the Wi-Fi, and they're getting on to him. I felt bad. I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, I had a little bit of signal, but I went live once. It cut out a few times, but I was taping, or whatever you call it now, and then going back there and uploading them. So if anybody who got on to him about that, just know that that's what I was doing.
They did on DA's channel. They did a live feed or a live stream that Saturday when the campers were missing.
Really?
Yeah, and it got brought up. It was like whenever they were still looking for them, they was like, "Go over there where the wood boogers and the woodwalker or the sawdust beasts and the woodwalkers are." Because they got all kinds of equipment over there.
Well, have they found those people yet?
I don't know if they were ever or not.
What happened? I thought I saw something where they did. I might be wrong on that. I think it was 2 of them that were missing, but I think that they found them. I'm not positive.
Was it just hikers or what was it?
It was a father-daughter that had left a group that was down there towards sundown. So not a good idea.
No.
Well, I mean, people can think what they want about the whole Bigfoot subject or Dogman or whatnot. I will tell you personally, I know that they're there in that area, and you need to be careful with that. But at the same time, I mean, a lot of people blow it out of proportion. They make it sound like if you go to LBL, there's a dog man waiting behind every tree to eat your ass. But I mean, we had a lot of people there, and didn't nobody get, torn apart.
Yeah.
It was behind Roger's tent.
No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. It came in 10 years from now, it'll be like, a dog man came in and stole some of Roger's apples.
Yeah.
He drug Cam Buckner off in the woods and didn't see him.
Yes. It'll be a whole different story. Greg was crippled because the dog man bit his ankle in half. Yeah.
Now I start howling at the moon. I think I've got the plague.
Well, see, that's another thing. Like Joe, I know he's joking. Roger, can I ride with you? So lucky. I didn't feel lucky. And that's another thing. Me and Spencer talked about it. You're at a Bigfoot meet and greet or whatever, and I try to give as much detail as possible. The white wolf canine, a lot of detail there because it was just right there. It was glowing right there in front of us with the headlights on it. The other thing, I was shook up about it, and the more I thought about it, what details can I give? And all I can give you is it was probably 500 or 600 pounds. There was a big old butt, and I didn't see a tail, and I didn't see the feet. I didn't see the knees. So it was just a big mass of something.
And I will say this too, y'all, just so you know, whenever Roger and Heather left and they had that, we were all still having a good time around the campfire and everything. And Roger called. I thought maybe he had broken down. But he called whenever they got to a point where they got signal. And Roger, don't hold it against me. He was a little bit emotional. Had the wife in the car. I mean, it obviously, it was traumatic, dramatic, moved him, messed him up. And he was like, man, I don't know what to do because we're coming from Bigfoot meet and greet and you cannot say this stuff. And I was like, no, just give it a couple days and go back and think about it. But much to his credit, it's not like he just jumped right on YouTube and said, oh my gosh, we just had a sighting. The Bigfoot world, the way it is now, with all the drama and people pointing fingers and saying stuff and everything. But at the same time, we try to be ourselves. I mean, all the channels that are us, Beast TV, Squatch and Holler, Cedar Creek Bottoms, Discover Sasquatch, us, everybody that we're associated with. We're trying to be real people, and we're trying to just show or talk about what we've experienced. And, if you say like, hey, I had all this happen at a Bigfoot meet and greet, everybody is immediately going to be like, oh, yeah, of course you did. It's a Bigfoot meet and greet. I promise you. Look, I got Ashby on here today because we met him at the meet and greet and just loved him. I mean, he's great. He's like one of us. We didn't take him out and like try to impress him. Kevin, did we drive you around and do calls or go take you to try to find a trackway or anything?
No, most of ours was just fun around the campfire and this and that. So yeah, I mean, anymore everybody wants to pull that card. Oh, look what we seen. But
yeah, I mean, but I'm telling y'all, Roger, he and his wife were upset by what they had seen.
And the thing is, it wasn't like we're driving through the middle of Lewisburg. We were in the LBL at midnight coming home. And this is funny, y'all. So Spencer, we talked about it. And he's like, yeah, I'd probably leave it under my hat for a little while. And I'm thinking it, now, like the dog, I know that was a dog of some kind. But this other thing, what shook me up was how big it was and that I couldn't identify it. Because I'm pretty good at identifying. If I could have seen an elbow or whatever, or an ear, and that would have given me more clues to what this thing was. So I was going over it. We got to the campground. Spencer said, I might accidentally told somebody overheard it, and it was spread through camp, so they're going to come up and ask you about it. And everybody was coming up, and I'm like, and Flat Rock, because I didn't know at this point. I could tell them about the white dog with the red eyes, but the other thing I'm still, trying to figure out. And Flat Rock was like, no, I heard you had something happen last night. And I wasn't being like, I just kind of, because it still was there. That feeling was there of not being able to give details.
Yeah.
And Heather was like, you couldn't talk either time. At one time I said, look at, oh my God, it's on the right there. It was on the left. And the second time, if Spencer or Greg had been in the truck with me with the big thing, I would have been 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Well, Greg would have probably rolled the window down and known it was right there. But I couldn't get it out because I was so focused on trying to pick out something that I could ID. And I said, yeah, I can't do all that at the same time. But Flat Rock, I guess he thought didn't want to tell it. But I didn't know how to tell it at that point. He said, now come on, I told you. I said, no, we're good. It just, all I have detailed is I've seen 600 and 700 pound hogs. It definitely wasn't a hog, but it was that size. There was a butt crack and cheeks, and I didn't see a tail. That's about it. And it was black, so the size of it is what shook me up. I mean, because I've seen, small hogs and stuff, wild hogs, and I've seen 250 pound bears, and this thing was massive.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm glad I didn't hit it with Heather's truck. That would have been, y'all have probably had to,
bye, ma'am.
I probably had to move in with Greg.
See, Bam, Hey, y'all, like Spencer touched on a while ago, we've had a lot of really good folks that's helped, gave us some really kind words and gave us some ideas on things that we could do to get a lot more subscribers on our show. And it kind of, some of it stems off of us being a little more proper and primed and trimmed and acting a little more adult like. And we talked about it, and we could do that. I mean, we got it in us. We got a little more filter in what we choose to use, but it's kind of come across to us that, what y'all see here is that's us in person. We're just being us. And, I don't expect them to listen to me talk about my encounters that I've had with these things. And, I'm asking these people to take me at my word face value because I can't prove it any other way. I don't want to muddy the water and me trying to get people to believe me when they come on here and they watch this and, they see me week after week and they develop a thought process of what kind of person I am. And then they meet me in person and I'm totally different. To me, that clouds the water. I want, whether y'all meet me right here or y'all meet me in person, you're going to say, hey, look, that dude's the same guy.
As soon as you fake anything in the Bigfoot,
you're done.
You're done. Is my personal belief anyway. If you're going to exaggerate or lie about something little, you'll exaggerate or lie about something big.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to put on, like this show, obviously, we don't do it professional. The meet and greet was everybody had a good time, but that's because we were all just being friends and hanging out and having a good time and everything. Don't ever expect it from this channel. We are not like super professional, but we're all very real. And at least what you see on here is what you get in person. Yeah. What House is talking about.
Yeah.
What I like about this group is, if something happens, if Peyton's not with me, he's my first person because I can tell him something and he can like, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Then y'all three, I mean, the night we found tracks, Greg was there.
Yeah.
I called Spencer first. I told Peyton, I said, see if you can get in touch with Misty and see if anybody was down there walking with barefooted like 6 weeks prior. We were trying to get all that, ruled out stuff or whatever. So I know I can talk to these guys and gals call Greg up. Peyton had something happen. He called me first. He was on the way out of the woods. He said, I want to be on the phone with you in case something happens because I just had something crazy. And
adorable. He's like 6'3" and 300 pounds, and he ain't fat. He ain't adorable.
I think he was saying deplorable.
Oh,
he's definitely that.
No,
but he called me, and I thought, you need to call Greg. Greg answered the phone, and we went over it with him, or I went over it first, and then Peyton called him.
Yeah,
and he was telling him what happened, and Greg had experience and said, well, maybe it could have been this. I've heard this before and whatever. So it's good to have people like that. Because if I tell Spencer, well, I mean, and like with the big, if I'd have seen a tail of some kind, that would have been an ID, something I could have ID'd. But it's good to have people sometimes to rein you in, or somebody that you don't want to, because when stuff happens, sometimes you're excited. Greg told the story the first time he saw that one go across the road, how emotional he got and screaming at it.
Yeah.
When the first mountain lion I ever saw, I remember that feeling. They're not supposed to be here. I've been in the woods all my life, and I almost ran over one and got a good look at it. And when something's not supposed to be there suddenly appears, it shakes you up. And if it's as big as what Greg saw, it definitely does. So anyway, I appreciate, having that, having y'all to go to. So
well,
it's like I told Spencer my story. It's terrible. I'm a terrible storyteller in the end, but it's going to be cut and it's going to be dry, and that's going to be it.
It was good. It was not cut and dry. And I will say, I like talking to people. I like having people on the show. I like talking to people, even if it's not like that Class A encounter. You know, the people that have had a lot of stuff happen right around their place, or that really scary, you know, something screamed at me and it was so strong and so powerful, it ran me out of the woods, and I'm a full grown man. And I don't know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that in the Bigfoot world, there's a lot of people that will say stuff like that, but I think it's more convincing because you hear that and there's so many more people. There's a whole lot more people that have had stuff like that happen than the people that had that Class A sighting. How long were you experiencing these things before you actually laid eyes on one?
I started dealing.
Never.
I started dealing with them in, you know, around 2000, and the first one I saw was January the 29th of 2009. So I mean, I was 9 years deep in it and done. And y'all, I don't mean done just had a few encounters. I'm talking about, you know, probably a few hundred by then. You know, whoops, wood knocks, screams, yells, roars, following out, bluff charged. I mean, I'd had a whole plethora, deer stolen. I mean, I'd been dealing with these things over and over and over for all these years, but I couldn't lay eyes on one. And then when I finally seen one, it was like my whole world changed.
Roger, I think you've talked about that before, haven't you? That you dropped off people on your old job and had stuff happen right there where you dropped them off. Didn't you say something?
And I haven't got a chance to go back. I called Spencer. I called Peyton first, then I talked to Spencer about it. And what I asked Spencer was, do you think us talking about this crap manifest stuff, or because I saw something pretty strange, and it wasn't what I was looking at. It kind of changed shape. That's how I felt, and I wasn't going to let it intimidate me. And I kind of, in my head, I cussed it, and I said, "You're not going to scare me, whatever." And then I got hit with something, and my tail jumped in the van, and I was out of there. And I felt that feeling for miles. And finally, I calmed down a little bit, and I called Peyton. I said, "I don't know what just happened, but something happened." I haven't got back to that spot, so I don't know what it was.
Well, I think that if you do this long enough, I think you start out going, these things, maybe they're real, maybe they're not real, because that's what it takes to get you looking into it. And then you're like, oh, okay, they're a giant monkey, or they're, you know, whatever, some kind of race of people that we don't know about or something. And then gradually you come to the conclusion that, hey, there's something weird going on here that is not just flesh and blood. And I will say this publicly on YouTube. I've said it before. I've gotten to the point now where I really start to wonder about stuff like, they know if you know.
Oh yeah.
I
can't explain it either.
Yeah. I mean,
and I think I've told y'all stuff that I probably hadn't told on any show, because probably. it's like, hey, this happened, whatever.
Y'all see our text message chain.
No, you don't. No, please don't.
No, that's not. It's not.
They're hilarious, y'all. I mean,
we can make a book out of it.
Yeah. Misty said we could get y'all to write a book, because we forget. You know, I'm 53 years old. I forget things happen. One of the
she said it has to be an audio book.
I said,
I'm gonna bring Ashby in. I'm gonna bring Ashby into the text message chain.
Greg said something. He sent a video. This guy had a staph infection or something, and I said, "Oh," and it was horrible looking. And I'm like, "Damn, I didn't want to see that." But I made the comment, "Hey, I've had that before." I said, "I've been on fire."
Good. How are you?
And that's a close second. And they're like, "What?" I said, "I didn't tell you about the time the car blew up on me."
Yes, just a small part of my ear missing. What the hell? Roger's got stories like that, y'all.
Right there's a dip right there. It's gone.
Oh God!
It scabbed up. It got burnt. I got burnt on. But anyway, I'll tell that sometime.
Are they just like game cameras? Do they watch you do it? Can they smell the chemicals in the plastic? Smell your scent on them? Can they see infrared? Can they see energy?
How does everybody's batteries go dead so quick?
Can they see people's aura and just see energy in a whole different field than what we do? And maybe they to show themselves more to people with a certain aura. Who the hell knows?
What if they can see in the infrared and we're shining like new money out there in the
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, y'all, this has been 2.5 hours of a cover of the meet and greet. It was a good time. Next time, we need 200 people there so that everybody can. Y'all, what we essentially just did, what we came back from, was like a big family reunion with a bunch of big name people in the Bigfoot world. Didn't cost anybody to show up. Greg made awesome food. We did have a raffle that paid for it. That and Gary Spikes. Thank you so much for all that, for everybody that helped. But we'll do it again.
Well, look, let me throw this in there. Look, guys, I was overwhelmed because there was people that showed up like pitched money on my table. I was like, no, I got it. And they're like, no, take it or we're gonna be offended. And then Spencer comes up and hands me money for the and y'all look. I didn't do it. I wouldn't charge anybody anything, but I appreciate it. And after the smoke cleared, I mean, I spent about $350 on the food. And by the time the smoke cleared, I wound up with $285. So I had $65 or so in. We fed, I don't know how many people total, how many meals walked away, but I wouldn't want any money back. But y'all,
man, people were in line 3 times for that chili, so you must have done something right with that one.
Well, that's the same chili that I put in 2 chili contests. The first one, they was about 70 something inches, and I got a blue ribbon on it. The second time, I got second place, but that's inches.
Next time, let us know. I'll bring some ingredients for you.
Oh, man,
just hand it over to you. Whatever you need.
Yeah. I don't know. We can only tell you what we've experienced and what we go through. There are no experts in this field. Anybody that talks to you like they know exactly what is going on, you might want to take a minute and maybe back up from that person.
Hey, I always remember an expert. X is a has been, and a spurt's a leak under pressure.
Ain't it? Damn house. I thought you were going to go somewhere else with the spurt. All right, y'all. We had a good show. It was a long show. Ashby, what you got to say at the end of the show?
No doubt.
Take us out of here.
Don't miss the next one if you didn't make this one.
There you go.
At least say bye to everybody. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining the show. Glad for those of you that showed up at the meet and greet. Thank you much. Big love to everybody, and check out all the people that we talk about all the time. You know it.
Yep. Hey, any of y'all that got stickers and stuff like that, take a picture of them, whether it's the Woodwalker, Squatch and Holler, and tag us in them on the pages, on Facebook pages. That would be cool. And put your location.
And whoever got my rope, Billy, did you get my rope? I want the rope back. I don't care about the flags. I want the rope back. All right. See y'all. Bye.
All right, buddy.
See y'all.
Squirrel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped around again.
Huh?
We're swapped around again.
Yeah, but I know you do it on purpose.